Hey, this is Josh Bain, the role-playing public creator. We're playing Trail of Cthulhu. This is Masks of Nyarlathotep, Session 1 of a huge epic campaign. Oh, yeah, I'm not building it up too much. Anyway, this is a continuation, also the same characters, the same storyline from the Dream Factory, where we last left off. And Shanghai Bullets. Where we last left off our group of illustrious investigators into the supernatural and the occult.
Yes, we were leaving like hell from Los Angeles because bad things.
Because you failed, you rescued the maiden fair, but you didn't kill the bad guy, and you stole his magic camera, I believe. He has the projector, so he's probably really pissed at you. So he, of course, also fled under the cover of night, and so you don't have no idea where his career is ruined. And
I'm guessing he went to Africa.
Well, that actually storyline is totally unconnected to this camp, to Mask of Nyarlathotep. I haven't forgotten him though, and I will probably interject him at some point.
And we still have 6 Molotov cocktails. No, 4.
I don't think they would let us take those on the train.
Yeah.
Really?
I may notice.
Is your filch that high? I'm not spending any.
I mean, it's a crate of like.
What if I pretend my flask?
Honestly, you could make more. Like, they're not that hard to make.
It's true.
That's kind of the point of a Molotov
Gas and a rag.
Yeah,
True.
So you have fled to New York, where you have friends, family connections, especially Margot. Sylvie comes back. She is very dispirited after her trip to Hollywood. Apparently, her heart was broken, and
who was her heart broken by?
Well, Reginald, of course. You know,
Oklahoma guy.
yes. Of course, when she tells the story, he is much more dashing and much more sophisticated, and much wealthier. But that is life. So you all have a respite. You can report back to the church at some point. So you can not be kicked out of the church. You're like, hey, you're technically working for us. Anyway, you can go back to your social circles. You can. There are friends and family you know of that are in New York. There is a thriving Chinese community there, and you can transfer your wealth again from the Los Angeles banks to the New York banks.
There's also a lot of good Irish Catholics in New York, so I should be sad.
Big ass cathedral, and Mr. DeWitt's character, of course, you know
Jackson Elias,
who has been out of town. In fact, has been out of the country since May of 1924. During that period of missing time, where you established a detective agency.
Which clearly we were hungover because we don't remember doing it.
No. So you while in New York, you arranged the sale of the building and its possessions, or the moving of them to there, so you can read over your files and puzzle out what happened in your blackout time. Most of which raises more questions than it answers. But eventually, January 13th, you get a telegraph from Jackson Elias, who says he's going, or you get a telegraph saying he's going to be in town on January 15th. So you all convene, and given Jackson's previous experience with supernatural, and he was the one who set you all on your path through Shanghai Bullets, you kind of want to find out what he knows.
You did say we could readjust our abilities.
Yes, you can readjust your abilities. Don't erase any abilities that you've used in the game, but
no, I'm just,
if you can move 1 or 2 points around.
I'm just
of unused abilities. And your stability's at full, your sanity's wherever it is, and your health is, and all your other.
We ought to be pretty good after destroying the thing.
You did gain 3 points of sanity for destroying the mirror. You don't gain any other sanity because you didn't. You saved the woman, but you did not destroy all the evil cult. So,
again with that,
really
driving that one home, Ross.
I don't know. So. You are to meet him at January 15th. That's where we'll pick up at the Chelsea Hotel, room 410 at 8 p.m. So, as we begin...
I said we have him meet us at an undisclosed bar.
Well, you can do that if you want. He told you to meet him at his hotel room at 8 p.m. room 410 at the Chelsea Hotel room. So I assume all of you meet in the lobby a few minutes before 8. Did
reasonable.
you come separately or did you arrive together? And if so, are you guys carrying anything unusual that I should know about?
Well, we're all armed, I assume.
That's kind of what I want to establish.
Sure.
So I assume by arm you just mean a handgun of some sort?
Yeah,
Yep.
we still have those pistols, I'm sure.
Yeah, pistols bought in this.
Where did I put my sawed-off
could-
shotgun?
That you could have taken with you. I assume you could carry it with you. It would be. You'd probably get arrested if the cops found that. That's not something sawed off. Yeah, that's definitely illegal. Yeah.
What if it's in the trunk of the car?
If they search your
taking
car,
the
they'll
train.
find it. Yeah.
What?
Well, it's
took the
been a couple
train.
months since then, so
never
you
mind.
could have put it in a steamer trunk. I mean, they don't have TSA style searches
Fair.
for a train in 1920s.
So maybe don't try to carry it in, but
No.
it's reasonable
You
to
have
say
it.
that
You
still
could.
have it.
You could have it in the trunk of your car, and unless the cops search the trunk or you start shooting it in the middle of the street, you're
Let's
probably
save that for later.
Yeah, it's certainly not a stealth weapon. Like,
Clearly, L.A. is much more liberal with all of this than New York.
well, you didn't really go around the streets shooting people with it, and the cops never found it. So they, for some reason, didn't suspect a priest would be carrying that kind of firepower. Yeah, weird. So anything else? Just a handgun each?
My toolkit.
Your toolkit? All right.
Oh, you're
You have a large, you have a very large purse. It's very
Yeah.
bulky. You people think, oh, that must be the latest fashion. I can't understand fashion these days. So,
Kind of weird for the 20s. Figured flappers would just have clutches.
exactly. That's why they're all like, oh, weird. I don't know, get that fashion. But yeah, no one pays much attention.
Just tell them it's German. Form follows function.
Bauhaus all the way.
So you make your way up to the room. Have you guys been in close contact during the few months, or have you all been mostly to yourselves?
We were riding on a train.
Well,
That didn't take 2 months.
yeah, that didn't take 2 months. It was October when you
Would
left.
like to get you on a slow train to Omaha?
You got to New York in October. It's now January, so it's been 3 months. Have you guys, aside from the socializing, which I assume all of you have been doing,
Right. I'm sure we regularly get together and stare into the middle distance together.
all right, fair enough. So it's just
Also drinking.
yeah. Some of you have probably had strange dreams of the things you've seen or the things you've read about. Especially you, the father, probably a lot of stuff you've read. You're not too happy about it. So you're making your way up as you get to the room.
No, not the room.
All of you can give me a sense trouble check.
Already?
I will throw 1 into it.
Okay.
As will I.
5.
5.
Okay.
6.
All right, those the number was 5 I was looking for. So anybody who did not get 5 or above, you can't hear some kind of movement going on behind there. You know, somebody's moving around, moving things. Those of you who do make it, you can hear there are distinctly 2 people. No, 3. More than 1. Definitely more than 1 person in there.
Definitely more than 1.
Which is definitely unusual for Jackson because he said he would be alone. Or Jackson doesn't have any partners or anyone he would be working with. He does have
Nobody really likes him.
so what are you going to do?
Kick in the door and get in a shootout with the cultists?
I knew we should have done a barn. I really...
Cultists would be there too.
In January in New York.
Nothing can go wrong with that.
I thought we would ring the doorbell and say room service.
Ring the doorbell of
Or
the...
knock the door. Knock
yeah.
on the door.
Of the hotel room in the 1920s?
Sometimes they have buzzers, actually.
They actually-
a literal doorbell where you twist the
Yeah.
thing on the door and it rings a little bell.
All right.
Oh, yeah. All right.
You should say it.
You could do that.
Okay, I ring the doorbell.
And then
Room
what-
service?
You hear a rough voice, which none of you reckon. And all of you know Jackson's voice. Definitely not his voice. Say, busy, go away.
Does it sound Russian accent?
You can't tell. Definitely, maybe someone who's not a primary English.
It's Batman.
Someone whose primary language is not English.
A fake Clint Eastwood?
You're hearing it through a door. So
I'm going to keep knocking and say...
No speak English.
Try the doorknob.
Okay, so I'll try the
I'll
doorknob.
come in now.
Yeah, is the door unlocked?
the door is locked.
It is locked. Okay, so I'll just keep knocking and say, room service for Mr.
Locksmith.
Mr. E?
They ignore you. Whoever's in there ignores you. You can hear, since you're next to the door, you can hear the window sliding open.
Uh-oh.
What floor are we on?
I would like
The
to spend a
fourth?
point of locksmith.
There would be fire escapes.
Oh, that's true. Stupid New York.
Go downstairs and cover the exit.
Yep, that's what I'm doing.
All right, so you're running downstairs.
Yeah, I'm running
All right,
downstairs.
that will be a fleeing or an athletic check. And what about you?
Okay, I'm going to throw 2 into it.
I think I'm going to stay.
That'll be
because
a
if I need
6.
to chase them from here, I have good athletics.
So are you going to follow him, or are you going to wait?
I'm going to wait.
Okay, so you're going to chase after him.
So
All
I
right.
got a 6. Was that the magic number?
That was definitely good. You run like the devil's right behind you.
Setting for the priest.
So you go down the stairwell. What floor are you hoping to intercept them? The third, or the second, or the first?
He's going down the fire escape, so I mean, unless you can hope to bust into
So the room, I was
X10.
thinking just the floor outside, the ground floor.
The ground floor.
outside.
Okay, so you're running all the way down. Okay.
Plus, I have a handgun, so I can just look up.
Yeah, this is true. It is night and it is snowy out, so visibility is pretty terrible.
flashlights.
Yes.
Always with the stupid flashlight.
Electric torches in the 1920s.
Preparedness roll for the flashlights.
All right.
5.
All right, you do have
I have a flashlight.
You do have electric
Job,
torches.
priest.
Yeah. So, what about you two?
Spend a point of locksmith.
Okay. Yeah, you can jimmy the lock open instantly.
I'm going to
With
stay
one
at the
extra.
door and cover him.
Okay, so the two women pull out guns, wait to enter the room. As you pop open the lock, are you just going to push the door open, or are you just going to let someone else open it? Who's going to be in front of the door when it opens, in other words?
I'm going to step back.
Wait,
Does
do
it
you
swing
still have
out
your
or
vest?
in?
It swings into the room.
Yeah, of course I'm wearing my vest.
Okay.
In that case, I'll whatever's there.
As I shout that from 4.
Probably too early. Probably too early for Claymore Mines.
Yes, definitely too early for Claymore Mines. I think that's a Vietnam.
Never too early for claiming.
Ancient Rome?
All right. So
The Fertile Crescent?
you pop open the door. You open it up, and just in time to see 3 men in the room. All are carrying. One is all of them have long curved knives or blades of some sort. You don't immediately recognize it unless you have anthropology. It'd be a 0-point anthropology spin. All right.
Bueller?
I have it, but I'm downstairs.
Yeah.
It's fine.
2 of them
we'll
are
be
black.
able to show you the kukris later.
2 of them black, 1 of them white, and they are heading out the door. They are quite surprised to see
The
you.
door?
Or, I mean, the window, sorry.
It's one of those walkout.
And then you see Jackson Elias on the bed, quite dead. He has been violently murdered.
no.
Give me stability checks, you 3.
You've played this guy up so much.
1. I lose it.
Oh, yeah, especially for you, Bill.
I pass.
Okay. You still lose 2 because he's one of your friends.
He's one of my sources of stability.
Yeah,
This is not going to go well.
No, this is not good, but you can still act.
Do I lose 1 or 2 rolls?
Did you fail?
Yeah.
You lose 3. It is a violent murder. In fact,
Does psychoanalysis help for stability later?
yes, you can. This is
I will
what it
help
looks
you
like.
later.
He has something carved on his forehead.
Dear.
Yes, it is.
That ain't no elder sign. Your fingers are over his forehead.
Oh yeah, there's actually a one of the handouts will be a picture of the.
Of what was carved on Jackson Elias' forehead.
Yes.
They really did
You
think
did
of
a
everything.
rubbing.
Oh.
I feel it was more of a
Too
blind.
So there's 3 of them. There's 3 of you. They are all 3 going to use athletics to escape. Actually, 2 of them are. The one at the window is definitely going to do that. Yeah, 2 of them are going to escape. 1 of them is going to try and hold you off. So the white guy is going to try and hold you off. He is going. So The 2 escapers are acting on 5 because that's their athletics. The other guy is going to act on 4 because he has weapons 4. You had your lockpick stuff out, so you could use unarmed or scuffling to, or you could spend this action to draw your gun. You 2, you're armed and ready. You can open fire in a small room that would in the middle of a busy hotel.
And I'm assuming one already halfway out the window.
One of them is halfway out. Is already, like, you can see him on the fire escape. Or they can see him on the fire escape. You're still running down to the ground floor.
When is the Volstead Act repealed?
That's an unusually specific question to ask.
So it's fine. Gunfire in a hotel is nothing unusual.
Yeah, well, it would call. They will call the police. Yeah.
Well, yeah. But
if we can get them before the
yeah. Yeah, I mean, they are carrying bloody knives, and they're leaving a room. The cops are probably not going to be too...
Citizen's arrest.
Yeah.
I mean,
all right. All the cops are Irish. We'll be fine.
Yeah. Hey, we have private investigators' licenses that are valid in California.
Yeah.
It's the only other part of the country that matters, even now. So...
Wow, a huge slam in the flyover states. All right. So, Anne and Melissa, are you going to just shoot, or are you going to do something else?
Well, I'm not a very good shot, so I'm going to let Anne shoot first.
Okay.
Anne?
You're going to shoot?
Sure, I guess so.
You don't have to. If you've got another plan, you can go.
I feel like that's a perfect response.
Is he blocking my way to the window?
The white guy is, yes. He's blocking. He's
So
trying to
I
cover
could get
the
out
escape.
there.
He's going to attack you on initiative 4. So what are you using? So we have to establish who's acting what first. So you have to... If it's... the person with the highest pool acts first. So what if you're using firearms, you'd be acting on your firearms pool.
Okay, I will act on that, which is 8.
So you will be shooting first.
Okay.
So you're going to shoot the white guy who's blocking the way, or he will attack you with a knife, or you're going to try and shoot one of the guys trying to escape.
Let's
The guy
first things
blocking
first.
us.
The
guy blocking us.
Okay.
Inside.
All right, go
The
ahead.
white guy.
Okay, and I'm going to use
How many?
points.
How many points are you going to
2.
All right.
So 7.
That hits. A pistol does a d6 minus 1, so go ahead and roll damage.
6.
5. Or did you... Yeah, it would have to...
5.
5. All right.
Well,
Ow.
he has hit points.
He does have hit points. They all have hit points. They don't.
They stood in a line. Very efficient.
There are no mooks ever.
There are, but not in this one. They're
If
moves,
it's the
but
tribesmen, I'm going to call racism.
wow. No, they actually in Trail of Cthulhu they don't have one shot. I mean, if you hit somebody in stealth, I'll usually allow that, but in open combat,
It's good to know.
They can take 1 or 2 points. All right, you shoot him in the gut. He groans. He's pumped on adrenaline and rage, so he's probably not going to collapse immediately. But it would certainly be a fatal gunshot in an hour or 2 if he's not treated. But he's still going to knife somebody, unless what are you 2 acting on?
2.
I act on 8 because since trouble. 8.
Okay. Oh yeah, because of your thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you're acting basically the same time as Anne.
Yeah.
Draw your
So
gun.
I'm going to draw my gun,
All right.
yell stop. Do you think I should... I don't have any athletics. Do you think I should try to brush past him or just stand there?
They all have
Yeah.
knives, but he's the one who's holding it. The other 2 have their knives in their belts.
Right.
So.
But he has his knife out. And likely
You
flayed.
might get
True.
slashed.
Yeah. Okay.
So
I'll
you-
just hold.
Okay. so
Yell
you hold-
stop.
All right, so he is going to spend 2 points of weapon to rush up and stab Bill, because Bill is the
Bill
closest
has a
one.
vest.
Yeah, that's true.
So, and he'll definitely hit with a 7.
Yeah. Ow.
He does
1.
1. That's actually 3. Minus 1, 2. 2 minus 1. Because if you rest, so you take
So
1
1.
damage.
I'll take
so
that.
he digs in. He slashes at you. It would be a very very vicious cut, but your gangster vest is sufficiently armored that it catches on it, and you actually hear the metal on metal. And you actually see sparks rise up. He was putting some force behind it.
Wow.
So yeah.
Busha.
Yes, a little bit. So the other 2 are both going to make athletic checks. Spend 1 point each. This is the guy at the window. He gets a 4, which is enough to get out and
So he
down
trips
a
and falls
door.
off the fire escape.
If they roll 1,
Or
the
is
other
the
one,
default difficulty for things.
and the other guy gets a 5. So they're both out the window onto the fire escape. So
My turn.
yeah, Sean, you are.
Melissa get a turn?
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Sorry, Melissa.
I will. I don't think that we want to shoot the guy that's dying, though, do we?
He's still up and at. He's received a really deadly wound, but because of adrenaline, it's not going to drop him immediately.
We can interrogate one of the others. We just need to leave one of them alive.
I mean, if you do use, if you use scuffling to knock him out, you can then tie him up and then treat him. But that's more dangerous than just, putting another hole in him.
Okay, well, I will shoot at him.
You could just remind him he's actually dead.
Yeah, I'll spend 1. And 6.
6. All right, roll damage. D6 minus 1.
1.
He's actually still up. You shoot his ear off, which looks really gross. But he doesn't. It's a pretty cosmetic injury, so he can't hear too well either. In fact, none of you can hear too well because
Gunshots.
pistols are actually really loud, especially in a hallway.
In a small, solidly built building.
Yes. So while that's going on, distantly, you think you hear some pops, maybe backfire. You don't know. You've gotten down.
Whatever,
to the
Gunfire.
all right.
He's used to hanging out with us by now.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough. Suddenly gunfire. So you're at the ground floor. Now you need to get from the stairwell out to outside to where the fire escape is, which requires another athletics check or something to get through the crowd. There's a lot of people milling about.
I'm adding another 2.
A 4?
That's 4.
All right, so you're shoving your way through. People are kind of like, are you dressed? Do you have the collar on and everything? What?
Yeah.
Well, it was night. Why is it so crowded?
Well, it's 8
New
o'clock.
York.
Oh.
It's 8 o'clock. It's prime time for people to
Should
come
have
and
used
go.
theology.
Yeah.
I've got the
Priestly business coming through.
I've got more athletics to use.
Yeah. So, this is the one thing is your investigative abilities will not refresh until you reach another chapter. So keep that in mind. Or unless you use certain abilities that allow you to refresh them. So
Me thinking.
Yeah. Your athletics recovers every night or every time you get a chance to sleep. So you're pushing your way through your crowd, so you'll definitely be able to have a chance to intercept them. You'll be inside of them, yeah. But anyways, next round. So he's still hanging on. His pool is again at 4, and he will he will slice at Melissa because she shot his ear off.
Wait, why don't I get to go before?
Well, that's what he's going to do. I'm just declaring who's going to win. But you're still shooting, and you're at an 8, so you can go ahead and roll.
Okay.
I will also shoot at 8.
All right, yeah, you can both shoot.
I'm going to spend another 2 points.
All right.
He did.
You might want to wait to spend see if she finishes.
So 3 and 2 is 5.
All right, go ahead and roll damage.
Oh, right.
Fortunately, though,
That was it.
he had 1 hit point left.
It was in the other ear.
It was in the other ear, but it doesn't. It goes through the other ear into the brain, so he falls
Blood in the
over
brain pans.
and just collapses in the hallway of the hotel room, bleeding onto the very nice carpet. So congratulations, he's quite dead. So
insurance.
you're next, or who's? Well, I guess you both can act. I mean, there's no one fighting you right now.
Right.
Rush over. Yeah, rush over. Start down the fire escape. Nothing
Yeah.
bad can come of this.
Of course not.
Bear in
all right.
mind, I do have a gun
Both
that
of
I
you-
might be shooting up.
Yeah, crossfire might
Bear
be a
in
thing.
mind, look where you're shooting.
Well, but up is kind of just a direction.
No, I know.
Yeah.
Maybe instead of actually getting out on the fire escape,
Just look down for
let's just look down and see if we can get a clear shot.
now.
All right, you can both look out the
They're
window.
waiting for you.
Yeah.
You see both of them running, climbing down as fast as they can. They are not looking back.
Do we have enough action left to get a shot off?
There's enough room that one of you can shoot.
You do.
I actually do.
I have 1 more point of firearms.
Okay, I have 3 still yet, so I'll spend 1.
All right.
And I'm just really
This will
looking
be
at,
harder to shoot
Yeah.
because
I'm looking at my target of opportunity and
Sure.
whichever one. Yeah. Nope.
Yep.
Big ol' nope.
it hits the fire escape, pings off. They don't even look back. They are quite not easily scared. So So Melissa, yeah, you look out the window, you see them. You could, he's to get your arm out and shoot. You can't both do that. So if you want to, you could go down, start heading down the stairwell, or you could or you could push past him and climb down the stairs.
Can we see Sean if we look outside? Is he there yet?
Dark.
It's too far, and he's wearing black. So
He does have a flashlight.
he's not gotten actually to the street yet. I'm saying he's going to do it at the beginning of the next turn. So he hasn't had time to turn his flashlight on. So you do not see him. But again, it's snowing, it's dark, and there's a lot going on. So you do not see him. So what are you going to do?
I really don't think that chasing after them is going to be beneficial in the long run. At least, not yet.
Yeah, you could try. Well, you have one of them dead. And you could, if you have evidence collection or anything like that. You could look around the room and start seeing what the clues are. The police are probably going to be here pretty soon.
Okay.
They may not want to share that. So,
all right, I will search the dead body of the dude.
Jackson or the
other one.
The other one. All right, though. All right. So you start killing, or you start searching him. And what about you? You could push past Bill and just start climbing down the stairs.
I think Ross wants you to do it.
No, you don't have. Or you go down the stairwells or climb, or you could search the room. She's already searching the body, so you don't need to do that. So you could search Jackson's room. You could go down the stairwell. You could go down the fire escape, or if there's something else, I don't know. There are people coming out in the hallway now that are like peeking their heads out. Prairie dogging, trying to what the hell. You hear screaming down the hall. Undoubtedly, someone's seen the body.
Wait, wouldn't the body be inside the room? Because
He charged Bill, so it was
in the doorway, basically.
Yeah.
Can we drag the body back in? And close
You
the
could
door?
do that this turn if you wanted to.
That might be wise.
Okay, I'll drag the body back.
All right, you drag
There's a lot of blood out
Close
there
and
and
lock
stuff,
the
but
door.
whatever.
Yeah. All right, you drag the body in and lock the door. So the three of you are locked in Jackson's room.
Fire escape. It'll be fine.
It'll be fine. No, yeah, clearly. All right. Sean, all right, so you get out to
And I have the
push outside to the street. You run around the side of the building. You can see them coming down the fire escape. They're probably at the second floor, second story level, making their way. They're going to be down on the ground floor pretty quickly. You're at the corner of the street, and they're on the pretty much in the fire escape's pretty much situated in the middle of the side of the street. So, what's your plan?
Turn on the flashlight, point it so it's going to be in their eyes, and yell "Police, stop!" in a very heavy Irish accent.
Okay.
And then have my gun ready to shoot them if they don't.
Okay.
Or if they do.
You yell that.
That'll just be easier to shoot if they stop moving.
They continue running down the stairwell or the fire escape.
So I aim at the one in
Well,
front.
that's what was your turn. You yell and you do that, and they keep on trucking. So these are not petty criminals. They're obviously pretty, escape or die kind of people. You can tell that pretty easily. New round. Let's see here. Actually, we can do Sean first. They're about to hit ground. They're about to, get from the fire escape to the ground. In fact, yeah, that's what they're going to be doing this round. They're both hitting the ground about the same time, one right after the other. What are you going to do?
Shoot the one in front.
All right. That would be, you can go ahead and roll.
I will add 2
Okay.
firearms. That'll be a 7.
All right. Go ahead and roll damage. D6 minus 1.
That'll be
3. All right. You wound one.
Tag them both if you can.
Do I have time to hit the other one?
Not this turn.
Right.
Unless your firearms is 8 or higher. I did. Yeah, because if you had that, you could do multiple attacks by spending firearms pool. So that's what you do. And they get down to the ground floor, and they will have a chance to react next turn. Let's see here. Up there, you can hear voices sort of murmuring, doors slamming, and you can hear doors slamming. People are like, "Oh God, there's a fight! Call the police! Oh no!" That kind of thing. People saw what happened. They realize they don't want any part of it, but there will be witnesses. So, Melissa, you've searched the body, and you find, of course, he has the curved blade on him.
Don't touch it.
And I
It
touch
is.
it with a hanky?
You could, if you wanted to.
I wouldn't.
It does have
Marking.
no markings on that. There is a piece of paper written in. You can feel there. You feel something. The sound of paper rustling around in his shirt pocket. So you fish that out, and you find it has the address of the Chelsea Hotel on it, and 410 written beneath it. Let's see here. You also find that he had stuffed some other papers into his pocket, so you start pulling those out. It looks like they were ransacking the room and grabbing what they could from it. So you're looking at, there's a matchbook it says Stumbling Tiger Bar, 10 Lantern Street, Shanghai Fun and Friends. You've heard of this bar, you haven't been to it yourself, but it's a bar in Shanghai.
We can't go back to Shanghai.
Yes. So you're looking through it. It looks like they were, trying to grab things from the room and report back. So they also, so that's what he has, aside from the address.
I would like to examine Jackson Elias's body.
Okay, you do so.
Do I need to make any spends on that? Or?
Let's see here. There's actually somebody who did a whole conversion for it.
Neat.
You do have the symbol's definitely a cult in origin.
Sketch it down quickly.
Yeah, you sketch it down. You realize you could probably, whatever cult this is,
I have a point in a cult.
You could make a spin, or if you want to wait, you could do a library use later on.
Okay.
Depends on which one you want to use.
I'll hold off on it.
All right.
I mean, granted, it could tell us what kind of cultists we're dealing with. Which
his body is still. What other skills do you have? Do you want to try to use them?
I have evidence collection and forensics.
To your point, he was murdered within an hour.
Really?
Yeah. You
okay.
Missed it by that much.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Let's see. I guess if I've sketched the symbol, there's not a lot of use of.
And his cause of death is quite obvious.
Right.
There's nothing supernatural about it. I mean, the blade. Yeah. So but you get the sketching of the symbol on it, which is quite unique. So you can that later on. Did everybody get a chance to act? Or Anne, you haven't had a chance, or have you? All right. What are you going to do? You could, What do you? I mean, you close the door. You lock yourself in. You can obviously go out and leave, though.
I mean, we're gonna have to leave via the fire escape at this point anyway. So may as well beat the rush.
Yes. Do you want me to search the room though to see if there's anything?
You can spin around searching. There are a couple of pieces of information that you interrupted them. So there's probably some information that they missed. So if you spin around searching, I'll give you another piece of information.
I think I want to do that because if they were there looking for something and they haven't found it yet.
All right.
Might be more important than killing them all.
All right. Here
Maybe.
you do find a business card label called for something called the Pinhue Foundation. It is in London. Elias.
It's a real thing.
Based loosely on a real thing. It sounds very similar.
Yeah, so you find this?
Yep.
It's really neat how they give you a little thing where you can cut out and actually make the matchbook.
Yes, they do.
Why didn't you immerse us, Ross?
Yeah, you could have totally wrinkled them and done a little bit of tea staining and put them in a file folder.
I'm
together
so horrible.
with
I will
strings.
give someone a bonus 2 points of general ability if they do that, but I'm lazy. So here's the Stumbling Tiger Bar.
This is the one that I found?
Yes, that is the matchbook. They were grabbing stuff off that. So, Sean. All right. That's everybody's action, isn't it? For this? All right. So new round. Sean. The cultists are going to act now. The one that you shot is going to charge you and try and stab you.
What's the other one doing?
He is running in the opposite direction of both of you.
So I have to make a choice between getting stabbed or letting one get away.
He's not closed yet. You can deal with that next turn.
If he makes a successful athletics check, he
both.
will be able to do both. So he'll make 2 rolls this round.
Me or him?
Him.
And I don't have a protective vest.
It's really not as protective as you might think it is.
1 point of armor. It's not super.
Okay, well, as long as I don't get stabbed in the neck, I'll probably be okay. I'll shoot the other one.
How much health do you have?
11.
You're rolling d6 minus 1. You've got at least...
I'll shoot the other one in the back.
All right. Are you spending any?
I'll spend 1 at least.
The difficulty is definitely higher now because you're.
I'll spend 2.
Yeah.
That'd be a 7.
All right.
1 would have been sufficient.
Yeah.
Well, you know.
Okay.
Resource management.
And I get 4, so 3.
3 points. So you wound him as well.
They're both moving slower.
Well, they're both bleeding too. So
we can track them.
you can track them.
We'll split up.
All right. So he's rolling 1, spending 1 in athletics. Actually, no, he's going to spend 2 because he really wants to get you. So.
What with having shot him and all?
Yes. So that's a 4. He will be able to reach you. And then he will spend 2 on his weapons to stab you.
I'm getting stabbed in the neck.
So...
Well, what is your... What?
How's the action splitting work? How's it going?
Well, I'm being kind of loose about it because it's...
Because he really wants the priest to die.
No, if you want to know, trust me, characters will have blamed. If you die in this campaign, it's because of a choice you made, or you're just a lot of really bad rolls.
This is a choice you're making.
Yeah.
But
anyways, so that'll definitely hit regardless. So 4 points of damage. You were sliced up.
Bitch, I will cut you.
Pretty much. So, new round. You hear gunfire coming from below.
That's unsurprising.
Yeah. So, is anyone going down the fire escape this round?
I will.
All right. You can give me a fleeing or athletics check. You want to race down the fire escape?
Athletics. I'll add a 3 to it.
Okay.
So I got 4.
All right. Very good. That was good. So you race down there. You get several stories down. Probably, about the second floor. You can see the father being menaced by a guy with
Monsignor.
Yeah, Monsignor.
Higher than a father.
Being stabbed or attacked. Melissa, what are you going to do?
I am going to follow Anne down this gate now.
Okay. You can give me athletics or fleeing.
I have athletics, and I will use 2. So I have 6.
All right. With 6. And Bill, same thing.
Now, any other papers on Jackson?
It looks like they got the rest.
Okay. Suitcase or anything?
It has been opened. There are clothes in it. You can try and search some more.
Right.
But it looks like it was pretty minimal. Just, clothes, toiletries, that kind of thing.
All right, I'll begin the egress as well.
Okay. Athletics or fleeing.
Uh-huh.
All right. No one falls over. No one slips on the very slippery fire escape. Because, again,
We are mountain.
January 15th. Totes cold. Totes snowy. Totes icy. So, Sean, your firearms is higher than his
I have
weapons.
nothing left.
Well, it's your rating, your pool. So, your starting firearms was higher than 4, right?
It was 4.
Okay. Gun beats knife, so yeah, you can still shoot before he stabs.
If you're going to shoot.
I could scuffle.
You could flee.
I could flee.
You got 7 hit points left.
But you can't take all of them.
In one hit.
Would I be able to subdue him with scuffling in theory?
Yes.
Okay.
You definitely take the knife.
Blowing holes in him is going to make him dead, not
Well, there's one bleeding that way. If I screw up and punch this one too hard in the bullet wound,
That's true.
I'll be fine. So I'll use a scuffling and add 2.
Okay.
I'm going to try and subdue him so that these people can get downstairs. That'd be an 8.
Nice. Way to roll dice.
All right, you can roll damage. It's a d6 minus 2.
That'd be a 1.
All right. You jab at him awkwardly. He, let's see here. All right. So it's he does not like that. He, of course,
he doesn't like that.
He has feelings about it.
yes, and he will express them with his knife.
All the feels with his knife.
He did not spend any, and so a 2 would definitely miss.
Yay.
So he swings.
So I must have jabbed him a little bit. In the
Or he got overconfident and felt that, like, he must have run out of bullets.
fist.
Yeah. You must have run out of bullets. I don't need
This is like a deranged rock, paper, scissors. Gun beats knife, knife beats fist.
You actually recognize the type of blade he's using, which is an African blade called a pronga. It is a curved forward kind of blade.
Really? He's carrying one of those around?
Yes, it is. It's gone.
How the hell did that not get noticed while we were standing in the room?
Because you.
Those are big.
Because they were carrying them. You recognize. You didn't see them until now. Like.
Oh, that's true. Because I was running downstairs and the rest.
Because
of
you're the one with anthropology.
Yeah, it's a blade. It's more like a machete. That's like curved forward like a gurkery blade. So it's a big nasty thing.
It's not pretty.
No, but I say knife. It's really more machete sized. So
That's not a knife. This is a knife.
yeah, pretty much. So anyway, that's what he's trying to kill you with.
And he already stabbed me with it once, apparently.
Yeah, he slashed at you. You have you can feel the.
That explains the 5 points of damage. I can understand now why I had 5 points of health loss. I'm surprised I'm not bleeding out on the sidewalk.
So new round. Oh wow.
Proud to be done.
I think she deserves a bene.
Yes.
He said he'd give her 2 general points.
Yeah. That is pretty awesome.
Way to do stuff.
Fold paper.
So
Well, David's the person who's going to cover it.
And so Anne, we'll start with you. You're on the second story of the fire escape. You can make one more check to get down to the street level. You can shoot this time. You will be at a penalty because the height and the dark and everything. There's one fleeing and going down the street. You're going to lose him this round. This is your last chance to shoot at him without chasing him. You can try that. And there is the Monsignor is fighting for his life against a man with a very, very large blade.
I think I'm going to help him out.
All right. Are you going to shoot from this distance, or are you just going to get down to street level?
What?
That's not what Bill would do.
That's fine.
You
Everybody gets to make their
could
own
jump
choices.
from the second story with a very high athletics check and shoot, and then roll and then shoot.
Like how high in athletics?
You would be. I'm not going to tell you exactly, but it's at least a 5.
Throw some points at it, and I think you'd
Well, yeah, I could put points in
That's
it,
a significant amount of points to be a total badass. You could do it. I want to have a mental image of you diving from 2
kidding.
floors, rolling,
That'd be
awesome.
pop, pop,
Sure, I'll do 4 points.
All right,
with a totally serious face.
So 7.
that's more than enough. She jumps from the second story down, lands on the snow, rolls perfectly.
Rolls?
Yeah.
I was really seeing her doing a 3-point like Black Widow landing.
Okay, yeah, whatever you want. Is it a roll
one
or
foot sweeping?
Yeah. How does your character land? Is it a roll or is it a Black Widow landing?
Like a tiger.
I think I want to roll.
Okay. Okay, you can roll, and then you can. You're still too far away to grab the guy, but you could shoot fairly easily. So,
I'll do that.
all right, go ahead and give him firearm
And then
check.
I'll take 2 points at it.
All right,
So 4.
4 hits. It's a lot easier to hit on street level, closer. And,
Street level.
yeah. All right, roll damage.
3.
All right, 3 is enough to put him down. He is.
Which one? You still have the other one, too.
The one that was attacking you, suddenly you hear a
I
bang.
was trying to save you.
And you see blood welling as a red appears on his throat. Yes, he's been shot through the throat.
And you're to blame. No way.
Yes.
But she still has the other shot because of her, the roll.
That let her do both in the same time.
Yeah.
In the same.
Oh, okay.
There's
So
one point I could go.
the one. So Melissa,
shoot.
you see, the guy's about to round the corner, get outside. So same option as Anne. Mm-hmm. You can shoot. Make a try and it's a very difficult shot, but you could try it. Or
what
you could,
floor am I on?
You're on the second. You could try and land on the snow, and then give chase, or you could. Yeah. What do you want to do?
I want to try to shoot him.
Okay.
I'll spend 3 points.
All right. You take careful aim.
4.
4, not good enough. He is too far away. It is dark. It hits a street lamp next to him as he passes. He actually flinches a little bit as you're very close, but not.
Flinching?
When she flinches,
Yeah,
he
flinches. Yeah.
Yeah. When he flinches, I'm going to shoot at him.
All right, go for it.
I'll spin 2.
All right.
Will I have time to shoot at him?
Yes, you will. You will be you're the farthest away from all of them.
Oh,
What?
3.
Yeah, 3 does not hit.
You suck.
She was closer. You hit the wall behind him.
I have a question. If I say a Hail Mary while I'm shooting, can I use a theology point on the firearms?
Oh, that's not how theology works.
It was worth a shot.
No, I applaud your initiative, but
Trail of Cthulhu Fantasy Edition.
yes. So yeah, you would definitely need higher than any of them.
Smite him, oh mighty smiter.
Do I get any extra points because I still have the flashlight?
It's distance at this point.
Okay. Well, I'm going to try and shoot him.
All right. Are you spending any points?
I have no points left to
All right,
spend.
then roll.
Because I was taking on 2 guys and the bounds damage while people were just charging.
Good job, by the way.
That'd be
Oh,
Well, you
Oh,
did
I
it.
am bleeding. You hit the street lamp. It goes out. So
it's okay, you have a flashlight.
Does he flinch again?
no, he was already past the corner. None of you.
2 for flinching.
All
But he
right.
was bleeding the entire time.
Oh,
You
yeah.
did hit him once, so
Good.
he would logically still be bleeding.
So we can follow the blood trail.
Yes, you could.
Is
The distance you can hear.
still able to talk a little bit?
Do you have first?
Roach
Well, that would be your turn. That would be your next action if you wanted to assess him. You just collapse.
He'll still
you
be
don't
there
know.
when we get back.
Well, you do
How's he
hear
going to
all of
talk?
you do hear
Got
police
shot in the
sirens
throat.
in the distance. So the cops will be coming pretty
We could
quick.
just wrap something around his throat. And
I don't think
Like
a
a
throat
collar.
works that way.
It is the game mechanics are pretty abstracted. You can make a first aid check to keep him alive if you want, or at least long enough to ask him a few questions. Or none of you have searched the body. The
And
police are
Ross
coming.
has to drink water while he's saying the answers
Yeah. Yes.
to totally immerse us.
Yes.
I almost want to do this just to have that happen.
Oh. Oh God.
Oil can.
Rise of crawling chaos. Yeah. I will immerse
Really?
all
I
of you.
didn't know Deep Ones worship.
Anyway, so yes, what do you do? Who wants to act first? There's no obvious opponent attacking you, so you can all just say what you want to do. That's right.
Well, I have first aid if we do want to try to question him.
Yeah, you two are still on the second. In fact, all 3 of you are on the second story, so you could spend your action getting down to street level with no spin.
Done.
All right.
Meanwhile, I'm doing.
Oh no, yeah, and you're on street level. Yeah, you're badass. I'm correct.
You
Okay,
could go
I'm coming
chasing
down.
him while I do first aid to keep Gurgle alive.
Sure, I'll chase after the other dude.
All right. Give me athletics.
I'll add 2. 3.
All right. You're chasing. Well, this is going to be an opposed check because he will roll as well. He will spend 1. And yes, you actually gain ground. He slips on the ice. You have not caught up to him yet, but you do round the corner. You see he fell over. Apparently he's in pain. Weird.
Apparently.
Good.
So he staggers up and continues down the street. So the chase is on between the 2 of you.
Does he have any damage or not?
Yes, you can
Yeah.
see he has a gunshot.
I did
okay.
shoot him.
Okay, you shot.
Sean, you're doing first aid?
Yep.
Give me a first aid check. Are you spending any?
There's nothing to spend.
All right.
But I'm the only one there.
All right.
That'd be a 3.
All right, you put pressure on the wound, you think, so you put your hands, on the shark. He's gurgling at you weakly, kind of spazzing out. You can see he has some paper stuffed into his front coat pocket.
Oh, that's all we need.
Yeah.
That's good enough.
All right, so you can just...
Are they stained with blood, though?
Well, they will be, because, he's bleeding.
You should remove them quickly.
Well, I need to wash my hands with snow first.
All right, so that's what you're doing this round. You abandon your efforts to save his life to wipe your hand. Or not.
He did try to kill me with a knife.
He did.
Yeah, I'm going to wash my hands with snow to get the documents.
All right, so that's what you're doing. Melissa, what about you? You can just
Am I on the ground floor again?
you can just spin this action to get down on the street level without it making a check. You're just taking it slower and not running at breakneck speeds.
Yeah, I'm getting down.
So both of you are just like clambering down.
Yep.
All right, new round. Anne, another athletics check.
Adding anything?
I only have 2 points left.
You're spending 1,
I guess I
and
can
he
take
gets a
1.
4.
4.
All right, you're tied. So you're still... Basically, you need to win one more time to catch up to him. If you have, of course, you are within shooting range of him. It is harder to shoot him while you're running, because you're running and shit. Of course, you could stop and shoot at him next round. But anyways, you're chasing him. You're both pretty evenly matched at this point. He's got adrenaline, and you two are on street level. Mm-hmm. What are you going to do? Father, the Monsignor, is messing with the corpse.
Do you have first aid?
Mm-hmm.
In case
I'm not messing with the corpse. I'm washing my hands off with snow.
Well, you already did that, so...
I'm going to take off after the blood trail in the snow.
All right. You round the corner, and you can see Margot and the killer off in the distance. Are you just going to stay behind at a safe distance, or are you going to run as fast as your legs?
I'm going to stay behind at a safe distance.
All right. You're fine.
Set up shadowing in case Margot,
Okay.
in case he shakes her.
Okay. Fair enough. You start going stealthily. They neither of them notice you. Melissa.
I'm going to run over to Father and the almost dead guy and try to keep him alive a little longer.
All right. This will be your last chance to save him. So
I will spend 2 points of first aid.
Okay.
3 points.
He's
not meant to live.
He is not. He is sweet. The world was too good for him. So he was really a terrible person. So he perishes.
I could just pretend that me choking him was last right.
But you've wiped your hands off, so there you go. You can loot his body of all his precious clues. Is that what you're doing?
Pontius Pilate is not really supposed to be an example in the Bible.
This is true.
That's a good one. I'll give you a bonus pool point to use against cultists for that line.
Yes!
Write it down, Bill.
All right.
Make him keep his word.
I'm going to call it the pilot pool.
You lose a point. No. All right, new round. And he is out of athletics, so...
So am I.
All right, this will be fun. Now, you can, instead of just rolling off, there are things you can do to try and catch up to him. Or, again, you can just stop and shoot him. You could make an investigative skill pool spin in order to gain a bonus on somehow.
Preparedness. There's a cart of fruit in New York in January.
I would allow that. You could do something like that.
Do it. Do it now. You have a lot of preparedness.
That's true.
Do it. Do it now.
No, you do that. You could say no. You see ahead some garbage cans, and you could shoot them to knock them into his way to trip him up.
Shoot it in such a way that the lid launches off.
So do it. How do I do that with preparedness?
Well, what do you want to do? You want to do that, or is something else in mind? Think of any sort of cinematic chase scene. You could use social skills. There are people on the streets. You could yell at them to try, hey, catch that thief or something like that.
Does he still have his sword, though?
He has a machete in his belt. Yes.
Wait, is he...
Pronga, yeah.
He is African, right?
Yes, he is black. This place...
Stop, jazz musician!
Yes.
I was actually thinking something worse.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, which could result in him being
Lynched.
killed, but-
Yeah.
so
Well, the police would probably stop that. They probably actually don't look usually in New York.
it's still the 20 though.
Yeah, they're not going to be gentle on him either, but they're probably
That's their beating to administer,
Exactly.
not the public's.
So think of anything in the cinematic chase scene that you could do.
Hijack a motorcycle.
You could, because your preparedness is so high, you could just say you had the exits covered, like the routes covered, in case you figured someone was going after you guys.
So she goes from here and then magically appears in front of him.
And you'll just have to deal with the
actually, yeah, you
PTSD
could,
that means you were that planned ahead.
If you had architecture, you could use that. If you had something to reflect your, like streetwise, you could say you know the streets of New York so well, you could take a shortcut.
I'll do that because I am from New York.
All right.
And I have streetwise.
All right, you can just spin the point and catch up to him. No
I
need
do
to
that.
spin anything else. All right, so you know a shortcut, so you take a right and disappear, and he like, oh god, I'm in the clear. So you can get next to him. What are you going to do? Are you going to just use scuffling to tackle him to the ground, or are you going to use weapons to
we
try?
trip the life. Sorry.
You could grab a brick and use weapons to knock him over the head.
The Cherry Crash special.
Yeah. You could use intimidate to try and get him to stop.
I think. Can I find like a board on the ground
Yeah.
instead of a brick?
All right, you can use a board.
Not with like a nail, just like a heavy board.
Yeah, you can do that. All right, that will be a weapons check.
It's fine. They'll just make a bigger
right.
board with a bigger nail.
2.
A 4 is good enough. It knocks him to the ground.
Kill him.
He is. I will say he's stunned for the next round. I rolled
Really?
5
A
damage.
board? That's merciful.
He
I'm
ran right
stunned.
into it. He ran as hard.
No, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. He's stunned because she took the merciful route.
All right, so he is knocked on the ground, senseless, recoiling. What is your Bill? You see this, but you're pretty far away. So, and what is your next action? You could use.
Could I use preparedness to say I have rope?
Yes, you could, or a pair of handcuffs, either one.
Or handcuffs. All
All right, make a preparedness check.
I
Are
spent
you
a
gonna
point of
spend-
BDSM.
Make a preparedness.
Okay.
You guys are private detectives. That would actually literally be one of your go-to things.
So how much are you adding?
This is pretty important, so I'll add
Yes.
4, I guess.
All right.
That would-
Oh, 10.
You have not only handcuffs, you have leg manacles. And a gag. So
Like I said,
it has the bleeding cultist tied
like
up.
she's been walking.
Margot is
He's
clearly
almost-
the badass in the group.
She's always been the badass.
Man,
She actually just threw the handcuffs. They landed on his wrist alongside with the board and clapped on as he hit the ground.
She's in a John Woo movie. You guys are in, a Chandler novel.
Oh God!
So you find more clues on her. So I assume you guys are going to try and flee, or are you going to give this guy over to the police? Because you do have enough time to get away if you want. But are you looking at this again?
Those are ribs.
Yeah. They really cut him up.
Okay then.
Yeah.
knife goes in, heart comes out.
Yes.
Kali, no.
All right. So what is your plan? Are you going to stay for the cops to make a statement, or are you just going to grab your captive and leave?
I don't think we need to mess with the cops.
Yeah, there certainly won't be an investigation. I'm sure no one saw us.
If you do not make a statement to the police, it will be harder to get information from them later, because
Exactly.
certainly there will be eyewitnesses who will
But again,
say people matching your description were there.
I feel like I should have a slight advantage on New York cops being Irish Catholic.
So you could stay and make a statement.
They'll be fine. Nothing
But we
bad.
could also leave and deal with it later too.
Well, it will be harder.
Well,
Anybody with cop talk knows that cops don't like people who they
We're
feel.
delivering one of the killers into their hands. So
Yeah,
that
if you
should,
wanna do that, yeah.
curry some favor.
Yeah, if
Citizens
that's what you want to do with them.
arrest,
Yeah.
And the other just happened to be citizens prosecution of the death penalty.
Yeah.
No, that was totally
self-defense.
self-defense.
True.
He's trying to kill us.
True.
I have the giant gaping hole
You
to
have
prove
a flash
it.
to prove it too. They
That's
were attacking
true.
us.
Granted, I'll need to take off the gangster vest before
Yes.
because that might be suspicious. But
Gangster vests are totally illegal, and
what?
But you have a slash in your shirt.
the reason that the police started adopting 357 Magnums for use, which are very hard to get in this time period outside of the police. So, they will be highly suspicious if anyone carried a gangster vest around, wearing one. You can
I'm not
So
currently
ditch that
involved
in
in
an
the
alley.
scene.
Come back later.
Like hell.
you could take the vest off and have it bundled up, or you could put it in your car.
I'll
I
yes.
stick
It
my
folds into a
body
nice
farther inside.
carry-on side.
All right, so all of you are going to the police.
Yeah.
All right, so you
Or
go to the
just
police.
waiting till they show up.
I assume they are on their way. They will be there within minutes. So,
Let's just let them come to us.
all right. Well, I
This is
assume
part of
Anne
that
Frog
too.
marches her captive back. Yeah. He is sullen. Oh, yeah. So he eventually wakes up, recovers, and curses at you in a foreign language.
Anybody have a language left?
I do.
I have 2 languages left.
Okay.
So is it Kikuyu, Nandi?
It is Kikuyu.
There we go. Kikuyu it is.
Yeah.
What?
I'm just really thinking about your education. Like,
Yeah.
how did that happen? It's getting to be a really
Actually,
mix.
it makes perfect sense for somebody who wound up being a missionary in
Thank
India
you.
to go through East Africa and to have picked up languages there because of the British Empire, and there are Indians in East Africa, and so the
All right, so yeah, you can investigate him, or you can interrogate him. You have a. Do you have interrogation?
I wanted to see what he.
Yeah, I have interrogation.
All right,
I
you
was
can make a
not
spend.
disappointed.
You can.
Spend 1 and just get it.
Yeah, he doesn't know
Sweet.
much. He says
don't
the
know.
well, what he does know is the name of his cult. He tells you that the sect of the Bloody Tongue will have vengeance upon you, for you are infidels and you are standing in the way of our God. You've heard the name before. You remember it's a Kenyan African cult of some sort. Very kind of. Not much is known about it. You have to do research to learn more about it, but they are extremely bloody-minded.
As in the name.
Yes, it is the cult of the Bloody Tongue. He refuses to speak more. Except to say that the Jackson, the victim, desecrated, was an enemy of the cult, and they were ordered to do so by their high priest, but he will not reveal the name of his high priest. But soon all will come. Soon all the infidels will pay for their transgressions. And
Not for the camera.
yeah, and that kind of. Or is there anything specific? So that's what he reveals through cursory, like, why are you here? What did you do? Blah blah blah. Was there anything you want to ask him in particular?
We could ask him if he knows anything about the Carlyle Expedition, since that's what Elias was. But I'm betting he'll give.
Carlyle. He says all those European names sound alike to him.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
So he is.
What if I poke him with a stick in his wound?
Well, at this point the police are showing up. So
Did you take that piece of paper off of him?
yeah,
I did.
I'll give you
All the dead guys. What was on the piece of paper so that I can interrogate the other
So
one?
here's what between the two of them. Here's what they had. There is a letter addressed to a Roger Carlyle.
So that was.
Yeah, you had the matchbook and the business card. I'll give you the handout in a second. And then there is a photograph, blurry and grainy. It shows a large steam or diesel-powered yacht beyond some Chinese junks. You recognize that as the harbor of Shanghai, or the Wangpu. Actually, the harbor near the Wangpu River. So it is Shanghai. The letters DAR are visible on the yacht.
DAR?
DAR, part of its name.
Oh.
It's not its entire name.
Dar es Salaam, maybe.
Could be, or it could be part of another name. Anyways, only part of only 3 letters of the ship's name is visible. Then there's a business card, printed in ordinary stock. There's a name written on it, Silas in Quan, in ink on the back of the card. So I'll get that out in a second. Then there is a typewritten letter without envelope from Miriam Atwright, a Harvard University librarian. So addressed to Elias in care of his publisher, Prospero House. Then there is a small sheet of paper inserted. It is the paper's advertising some sort of lecture about the cult of darkness in Polynesia and Southwest Africa. And so here's
safety first.
Don't run with scissors.
It's a TED talk about that.
All right, so here are the two of them.
Running with scissors?
How do you learn how to not run with scissors unless you know?
This is exactly how academic talks are advertised, actually.
Even now?
Yeah. Very horribly. Although now we have an image.
This is the symbol carved on his forehead, by the way. All right.
Joy.
I'll just put all these in a big pile. I'm sorry I didn't cut these up earlier. Such a monster.
Oh, this is from 1919.
Yes.
January 1919.
Yep.
To boot. Okay.
And here's the other ones.
So, when it says tonight only, are we assuming this is current?
You would have to look at it to look it up. It is probably not tonight. It's probably something he kept from later on. With anybody with library use realizes probably Elias kept this in order to contact the professor later on. So a bookmark or a mental note more than anything else.
Or a physical note, even.
So the police quickly show up.
Okay. It's in my bag.
Lieutenant Martin Poole takes each of you aside, interviews you separately. Anybody with cop talk
can I roll to see if he's Catholic?
He is Catholic.
Sweet.
He is very perplexed to see why a father is. Wait, another thing. What about your handguns? Do you publicly tell them that you shot these people and everything? He is very perplexed if a priest is.
I handed that off.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just bleeding, and these lovely people.
So he's very respectful to you, and tries to get you medical attention. So you can heal 3 points.
Nice.
Bill, you do not heal any because you conceal your injury, I assume. Because otherwise, because you weren't really cut so much as bruised,
Right.
Yeah. So you probably don't want to. You want to.
It's only a slash point.
Yeah. Don't want to bother with explaining that.
So, what were you here for, Father? Did you know the victim?
I did know the victim.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I did know the victim myself.
Oh. Well, can I ask what the nature of your... was he a parishioner or was a professional?
It was an academic,
a writer, apparently?
It was an academic friendship.
Oh. Well, what do you think? Do you have any idea why? I mean, I'll tell you, this isn't the 9th victim we found over the last few years.
The 9th victim in how many years?
2 years.
Last few years.
Is the church looking into this matter? This bloody cult?
Well, that was the nature of my friendship with Elias. He frequently consulted me on my knowledge of
I see.
heathen religions.
Now, this is the first respectable citizen we've who's been killed like this. We've been trying to get in there, but they don't talk down in Harlem.
Who were the other victims?
They were one was wealthy, some were poor, some were middle class. Apparently, all of them had disreputable habits, though. But
how many victims?
9
in the last 2 years.
Yes, we haven't been able to get anyone to talk to them, so we don't know exactly. We can't, arrest. And it's not just there's. We know some, not just these immigrants are getting involved in this cult, but there's also there's a white man with it. It's spreading. I don't know what to say. It's some sort of African death cult. It's not voodoo. It's not. There's a difference between the ones on the.
No. These look East African based on their weapons. So that
you're the expert.
That would not be voodoo.
The voodoo or hoodoo or anything like that. But we've been consulting with Dr. Mordecai Lemming. But he hasn't been giving us any leads. No one talks, and the people they're centered somewhere in Harlem, and all the victims had crossed the cult in some way. Either, from what I could tell, they're involved somehow with bootlegging, perhaps as a mean to raise money. But no one talks to us. So we made very little headway. We made some arrests of members, those people carrying those, those swords, whatever you call them.
Pronga.
Yes. But they don't carry them around unless they're cutting up somebody's head.
Yes, I know.
Excellent. I hope the church. I mean, if you have any information, so we can make arrests. We could figure out where they were centered. I mean, if the one member who spoke English, we got a white guy. He was a cocaine fiend, and he spoke of they had ceremonies in some building, and they had a priest, and all this. I mean, a lot of it sounded. I mean, he was clearly drugs were affecting his mind, but they clearly have some sort of hierarchy, some sort of structure. If we could figure it out, we could. Make arrests and purge the city of this filth. But I'm sorry. I'm sorry you had to get mixed up in this.
Oh, I'm just glad that these lovely private investigators came to my aid.
Oh, I'm glad the church has taken this seriously. If there's anything I can do to help, let me know, Father.
And what is your name?
Lieutenant Martin Poole. I cannot.
Poole.
Yes, with an E. If you have any, I can't go beyond my lines as a police officer, obviously. But if there's anything I can, if you provide information, I would be very appreciative. I'm sure I would let the church know. Yeah.
Thank you.
Anyways, so that's what he has to give you.
So lots of Kikuku immigrants.
Yes, it is clearly, but they have been proselytizing or evangelizing or recruiting with some success, apparently, because, again, there are white and black members of this cult.
The white individual that you arrested, what was his socioeconomic status?
He was middle class before he got caught up in the drugs.
Mm-hmm. Upper or lower middle class?
He was... I don't remember. He killed himself in the cell the next night, so back in the tombs. I could pull his file, but that was a year and a half ago. He seemed to be a low-level member, just initiated or whatever they do. Yeah.
Do you know where he was from in town?
Manhattan, I think.
Do you know what he did for a living?
No. Well, I think he was just a drug dealer.
Mm-hmm. And how old was he?
Oh, in his 20s, late 20s.
Any next of kin?
I don't remember. I could pull his file. That would take. I mean, if you make an inquiry, I'm sure we could. The files are open to the public.
Aside, is there anything in the file?
There is. No, there are more productive avenues of investigation.
That's GM for now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, took my time. But I did give you all those glorious handouts, which you should all read. Or look over.
File from here if you'd like.
Yeah, that'd be good. I already saw 2 of them.
Well,
yes.
Sort as you see fit.
So it takes you a few hours to get your statement written down, to get the father, Monsignor sewed up, stitched up, and of course all of you self-defense, very clear case. They're very, very obvious.
Well, and I mean, let's face it, it's the 20s, and the others committed the crime of carrying a weapon while being black.
Yeah.
So
this is true, but there's literally, it could not be more.
This is
open
sounding so racist, probably to the audience.
I said it was the 20s.
Yeah,
I know.
It's going to get it's
Context. Yeah.
No, I know.
Racism, we're just
Besides,
in the spirit of Lovecraft.
No, it's the zeitgeist. We're fine.
So
Purely imperialist in
it's
nature.
probably about 11 before all of you are allowed to leave the premises of the hotel. So you're all standing in the lobby or out near your cars. The police leave. The onlookers and reporters drift off as well. Do any of you give statements to the press? Because a couple of reporters nose around trying to get
I do have a friend who's a reporter.
Don't talk to him.
But he's from Dublin.
Yeah, if he's from Dublin, he's probably not here. You could wire him a story. I'm sure he'd love to publish it.
There's not a chapter in Dublin, so it's not like there's...
But there is one in London, and he could certainly make the trip down from Dublin to London to help out.
That could be fun.
Do you want me to wire Patrick O'Bannon?
Well, you don't have a lead to London yet, unless until you start interpreting those clues. So here's what you do know. The cult targeted Jackson for investigating this Carlyle Expedition, so you don't know what the connection is between the two exactly. The cult is African. So you realize, given your exposure to the supernatural and the occult, your lives are probably now in danger. The occult, two of them are dead. Oh, one of the members is still alive. And he will certainly.
That was a choice.
That was a choice. You did get information out of him, such as from where he's from, the name of the cult, which you can now make spins on. But he will probably get back to the cult of these interlopers, and efforts will be made against you at some point. But as you were leaving the hotel, back onto the snowy streets of New York, late at night, January 15th, all of you make sense trouble checks.
I'll spend one.
I'll spend one. That'd be a 6.
That would also be a 6.
All right. Pretty much everyone.
Melissa?
I had a 4.
4 is good enough. All of you turn and you look off in the distance.
The middle distance.
Yeah. Look how that's becoming a recurring gag. You see a woman walking the streets.
About 1,000 yards away.
Wearing ill-fitting clothes. But her appearance, she is instantly very, very familiar to you.
Is her hair white?
Her hair is white.
Does she have eyes?
She does have eyes. But she is looking... yeah.
Shall we all get on board the crazy train?
And she looks over.
Light 'em up.
And then she seems to look over you and starts to walk. Yes. So you wait. Do you go and meet her, or you wait for her to come?
Let's all at least be warm.
Okay.
I mean, right? It's winter.
All right. So
We're right outside the hotel.
All right.
It's got a bar, right?
Yeah. Sure. It is the 20. So
And I could definitely use some whiskey. And my flask.
You would have to go to a speakeasy, but you could find a speakeasy.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
Fine.
The police do pay some attention to the whole prohibition thing. So.
We all have vouchers for medicinal use, right?
I'm a priest. I'm excluded, actually, as long as it's considered communion wine.
Yes, whiskey.
That's the strongest communion wine I've ever had.
I don't think grain alcohol can pass as communion wine.
Little red food wine.
All right.
Red number 12.
All right.
Only because yours happens to be the parish that all the cops belong to.
And that's why they like this.
Exactly.
So she walks over to you and says, Do I know you, I think?
Maybe not yet.
Oh, I just had the strangest... can we go somewhere warm? I'm
Yeah, we're on our way to someplace warm.
All right, so you make your way into a speakeasy. Anybody with streetwise can find one. You don't need to make a spend, but
Hooray.
Who finds it, by the way?
I do.
All right, you do, yeah.
Please.
All right.
I'm a stockbroker.
All right, yeah, fair enough. So you go into Big Joe Speakeasy. Their names are pretty...
There's a big sign out front.
Yeah, big sign.
Eat at Joe's.
So you all hustle in. You're given some bathtub gin to warm yourselves up with.
Love the rain.
The room is thick with smoke and roars of laughter, and in the back room, and it's a rather crowded night. It's cold out there. People don't want to be outside walking about. So hey, this place is warm, and yeah, it'll make you feel great. So very warm. So you walk in, there's sort of an awkward silence between the four of you and her. You can see, actually, all of you now, you can get a slightly better look at her. The lights are dim, but you can see she's wearing ill-fitting clothes that aren't really fit her, and you can also see bloodstains on them, old bloodstains, or dry bloodstains, somewhat recent. Anyone with evidence collection can see they haven't crusted over, so they're yeah. They don't look like injuries from her, though. She doesn't appear to be injured. But she is slightly cold, slightly hypothermic. Warming up, though. She just says, "Have you ever had a strange dream?"
That's our response.
Sorry. I realize the laughter must be disconcerting, but yes. Would you like to tell us about yours?
You've heard the poem, where the butterfly dreamt that it was a man, and then it woke up and it didn't know what it was.
Oh, that old gem.
I had a dream that I was a man, and then I went to sleep, and then I woke up in another world, and I was a different man. I was someone else, and then I woke up again, and I was here, and I was not a man.
Scopsy.
Yeah. I had a name once, but I don't really think it really applies to me anymore.
What was it?
Omri, I think.
How do you spell that?
Omri, I think.
Not Omar, right?
Yeah, Omri.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because seriously.
Yeah, no, it is. But I felt I should come here. I just left the Peach Blossom restaurant, and I tidied up, but so they told me I should. No, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought.
It happens.
Anyways, you with psychoanalysis, you can spin the roll.
Oh, by the way, does she still need help?
Yeah, you can make psychoanalysis rolls to heal people's stability if you want to talk to them privately.
So,
who do you want
me to do that now?
You can do it anytime.
A shrink session?
Yeah.
How bad are you off?
I'm down 3.
Okay, I will spend 2.
Okay.
That'd be an 8.
All right. Yeah, you recover 3. Actually, I think with psychoanalysis, I think it's actually you can just spend it. You don't have to roll.
Oh.
Let me double check.
So I could just spend 1 and she gets her 3?
I can't remember if it's a 1-to-1 ratio or a 2
if I
ratio.
roll it and I spent 2 to get her 3,
different.
Yeah.
and they're like, 3 for 2.
Yeah. Wait, let's see here. Here we go. 79. Very psychoanalysis. Actually, it's 1 to 2. So you could every psychoanalysis point spent, not including the point spent to make the test. Oh, you do have to make a test though. It's a difficulty 4 test. Difficulty 3 for clergy though. If you're the same religion. So
would you like to convert?
Yeah. So it's
I have really good communion wine.
So difficulty 4 psychoanalysis, which you made. So every point you spend after that roll, then you can recover 2. So you could spend.
So I have to spend after spending for the roll.
Yeah, to recover. So you don't have to spend to make the roll though. You can always just take the dice as it is. And it's 1 to 2 after that. For every 1 point, you recover 2 points of stability. So I'll let you redo the roll since you didn't know the rules.
Okay, I will redo the roll.
Yeah,
it's a 5.
All right. So
and I spend the 2, so she gets her 3.
All right.
Got it.
Don't blow off that second point.
I have 10.
Okay, but there are 3 of us.
I have 10 left.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Do you need help? You're fine.
I'm down 2 actually.
Remember, the penalties don't apply until you get to -1. So for stability, as long as you're
I'm just saying, don't blow the point that only goes 1 for 1.
Okay, you only get 2 back.
Okay.
Efficiency. Yeah.
Bill doesn't value the Chinese.
Wow. All right. So
No, I just don't value blowing off a resource.
So
half value.
Bill's you have to think of long term. This is a campaign. Look at all this book that you have to get through. There's a lot of
there's a lot of book there.
There's a lot of book here.
There's a lot of instability to be had.
Exactly.
But don't we get these back when we fall asleep?
No, that's physical ones. Psychotherapy is not physical.
Yeah, I'll look up what you get for. I think I'll look up what you get back for that. But anyways, so Omri, whoever she is, you can easily tell she's disoriented. She's had a very recent, very traumatic past, so you could ask her about that. But
can I use psychoanalysis to calm her down?
She's very calm. She's just disoriented. No, actually, no. You can recover stability on her. Actually,
would that help?
Yeah.
Roll, it's 4.
All right. How much do you want to spend?
How bad off is she?
She's very low in terms of total stability.
Very low.
Yeah.
And it's a 1 to 2.
Yeah.
So can I spend 2?
Yeah.
I'm not going to...
All right. That gets her feeling a little better about herself. So there's actually a lot of counseling. It's very quiet. You're kind of
just when we
not the oddest place you've had given therapy to people, but certainly up there in the middle of the speakeasy in the dead of night. But she recovers a little bit. So
therapy works better with whiskey.
She talks about
not really.
She was apparently on some sort of trip in a distant land.
Opium trip?
Well, are you bringing that up?
Sure.
All right. There is a.
It might be a little medic.
There's opium. Mr. Lau gave us opium, but when we fell into debt, he had something else for us, and that never Bywindy. It's not meant for mortals.
Never buy what now?
Bywindy. That's what the book called it. I don't know how it's made.
Can you spell that?
And you can make a Cthulhu Mythos point spend to recognize it. That will, of course, take sanity. As you have a revelation about this.
I guess we've all got them at this point.
Or you make an occult spend to not lose sanity by getting lesser amount of insight into the situation.
I have a cult. I have an appointment in a cult, so I'll go ahead and do that.
All right. Bywindy is, you have heard of that in certain poems.
Bywindy.
Yeah, Bywindy. It is a...
2 Earths?
It's a drug. You've heard of
it. But Bywindy.
Bywindy. Bywindy.
Windy. Okay.
Yeah, here, I'll get the book.
No, it's fine. You don't need to...
All right. Because it's in the senseless light of hand.
That's, yeah.
So it is you've heard of its reputation. It is a drug that apparently sends people into a realm of dreams or into another universe, but it can have dire effects. It can great cosmic wisdom, but those you've heard a poem of taking it to send you to the dream world, but taking it again, the dream within a dream sends you into a realm beyond which no mortal mind can withstand.
Wow.
Yeah. So the fact that she mentioned it with that cult, you don't have the revelation, but you do get a sense.
That's fine.
Yeah, it is kind of the world of dreams, and taking it would transport you to a distant realm, but just the mind. But yeah, she seems to have a very strange experience. But I don't have anything. She does reveal now that I thought I had a life here, but my memories must be all wrong. I'm afraid if anyone, the people I think I know, if they were to see me, they wouldn't recognize me. They'd think I'm a stranger. I think it's like I'm starting over with nothing. No Cthulhu Mythos, man. So, what are you going to do? Are you just going to send her? She's clearly, you get the sense that she's homeless. She has nothing to her name.
Was that? She mentioned Mr. Lau.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes, Mr. Lau. The Peach Blossom restaurant.
He forced you to take the drugs?
Yes. I fell into debt, I think. I had an opium habit. At least I did in my other life. And when I couldn't pay back my debts, his men took me to the restaurant and made me take the drug. And that sent me to the realm. I learned later it was to pay back a debt to his people in the other realm, the men from Lane. And
yeah, so
I was going to be a sacrifice. I can't even fully understand their plan, but now I escaped. I escaped, and now what am I? My life is not my own. But I get a new life. No one knows who I am. None of my enemies know who I am now. They
Maybe I should have spent more.
Yeah. She's fragile. So I was just a few hours ago. I was just wandering from the Peach Blossom restaurant. We could. I think now that I think about it, there's a book. There were books that he had there that I forgot to take. No. I'm sorry. I was the events at the restaurant were so.
Did any of these books have a Harvard Library label on their spine?
No, there was a scroll. There was one written in it. The skin, or no, it was made of metal. Its metal was a thin metal cover, but it was incomplete. There was another. It was supposed to be one of there were 2 volumes I was drawn to it, but I didn't take it. I don't know why I didn't take it. I think it was because of the violence.
What now?
We went to we returned. We escaped. We left the dream world and we returned to the real world. But we woke up and we woke up here and we knew that we had to get to Lao. We had to pay him back for what he had done to us. And so tonight we got to the restaurant and we all split up, but there's no one left at the restaurant now.
Well,
you actually know the Peach Blossom restaurant. It is a hangout for the Tongs. The name Mr. Lau actually rings a bell to you. He is the leader of a group of actually not Tongs, triads, but Chinese organized crime and opium dealers. Peach Blossom restaurant is his headquarters. So you know exactly where that is. But she seems to be saying that everyone at the restaurant is now dead. We enacted vengeance.
Sure. Sorry, didn't mean to blow that off. Okay. I'm actually not sure how to approach this in an in-character kind of sense. It would be a whole lot easier if we just sort of went through the basics
Call
of...
the cops.
Yeah.
No. If we just sort of went through the basics of what sense is, but that feels awfully like metagaming.
Well, you do know... Well, again, you get a sense that you've met the white-haired woman again, and what's perplexing to you is you don't know... She knew who you were before, but now she seems... she clearly has no memory of you.
And she has eyes.
And she has eyes.
No, I mean...
Yeah.
I don't
The second
know
time you met her in the dream world, she did have her eyes. It was only the first time you met her that she didn't have eyes. Her appearance keeps changing.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're just... Well, out of character, obviously. We're just meeting out of order.
Yeah.
Right. The first time you met her was actually the last time for her.
So, hello, sweetie
so far
style.
That we know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
but I don't know if there's really any reasonable way for us to understand that in character.
No, in character. No, you've met her before. This is the same person you've met both in Shanghai and in her mannerisms, her voice is the same.
Sure.
It's her knowledge of you that changes and is most perplexing. But she talks about how there's something she left behind at the Peach Blossom restaurant that she realized she didn't take because she was overwhelmed by the trauma of the violence, which is why she left in a fugue state. In fact, on the way here, I don't know why I walked towards your hotel where you were. I took something from the restaurant, but I dropped it. I have to go get it. She gets up. I have to go get it now. It won't survive the night.
Let's go.
Follow?
Yeah.
All right. So you start following her into the night.
With our flashlights?
With your flashlight.
Yeah.
Do we need
She keeps talking. She keeps muttering things.
What's she muttering?
Well, it seems... It was like that time on the ship. And then,
Time on the ship?
Yeah.
Is it too late to regret my choice and just switch my occult to Cthulhu mythos?
You could spin and point it out.
She's
She's muttering things that have cult significance.
I think if I do that, I will feel less bad about spilling the beans about what I understand is going on.
All right,
here.
so you're listening to her as she's talking. For the rest of you, it seems to be nonsense. First, she mentions the ship. Then she mentions this officer named Darlington, the foolish Brit.
All
and
of
then
them are foolish Brits.
Then she mentions the graveyard. Then she mentions a cat. She keeps talking about cats. When you pass an alley cat, she's right. Oh, excuse me, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Please, go on. Feast on the fish. We're very rude. I'm sorry. She talks to the cat as though it were a person,
which it is. I mean,
and sort of bows to it. They're very
cats are pretty cool.
Yes, but for you,
it's better than slavery, man.
Your dreams start taking another significance, and you realize you've seen some of these places, many of these places. When she talks to the ship, you suddenly remember the ship that you saw, and the volcanic island that it was heading to, and then you remember the other thing. Then when she says the word "gug," you shudder, and you have a sense of it.
Sleight of hand, man?
Coming towards you, its jaws mashing together. But then she mentions something. And then she. So you're beginning to get a sense of what's happened to her, and that.
So essentially, this is not her body. It's
No.
not her original body. She got astrally projected, basically, into the Dreamlands. Did a thing there.
Yeah.
Came back, apparently with some sort of time dilation, because she wasn't gone as long as she was gone.
Time flows differently in the
Yeah.
Dreamlands.
She and whichever friends she had that presumably were with her came back to where they got the drugs that sent them into the Dreamlands and proceeded to get all gunslingers on it.
She mentions, there's a woman, Lucille. There's a
No, there's not.
There's a scarred man named Mitchum who is very intimidating. She's very kind of like grateful for his presence, but also glad that he's gone. But yes, you get a sense. You actually know this drug would actually have destroyed her original body. His mind, whoever this dreamer was. You realize what Mr. La was doing. He was sending souls to his compatriots in the Dreamlands, and they were capturing these souls for use of whatever insidious purposes.
For the men from Lang.
Yes, whatever they use souls for.
Which, I
probably
my Cthulhu mythos, so bad stuff.
Bad stuff, yes.
Wait, Plateau of Lang...
Probably sacrifices
isn't that
to their...
where isn't that where he's hanging out?
That is one of the places he is associated with, yes. So, a fate worse than death, in other words. But for some reason, instead of being captured, her soul was put into the body of a native Dreamlands person. And she found a way back to Earth. Unfortunately, she couldn't take her native Dreamlands body with her, and so she was thrown into another waiting Earth body, i.e. a comatose patient. And so she... so imagine losing your own body and then waking up
twice.
And you're in a different body. So she is very disoriented, and probably she was a man to begin with until she woke up here. So
she's a man, baby.
Yes.
Sorry.
So that is what happened to her. And so she probably knows a lot more about the true nature of the universe than you do at this point. But
let's keep it that way.
Yeah. She stops and she picks up behind a garbage can a few blocks away, near the Peach Blossom restaurant. You're very close to it. A scroll, and she looks at it. You can see there are Chinese characters written on it. So she's yes. This will have what I want. But. We're so close now. The other book that I wanted, that I was too scared to. I think it must be there. It was a metal book. The cover and the pages were made of metal, and I was drawn to it. I don't know why. I think I should go and get it, but it would be better if I had company. Everyone there should be dead, but I just. It's not good to go alone in the dark.
It's dangerous to go alone like this.
So, are you going to accompany her to the Peach Blossom restaurant?
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, honestly, we have a pretty strong suspicion she's not going to die. So, there. Right now.
Well, her not dying doesn't have anything.
Yeah.
Right. No, I get that.
I mean, I'm barely stitched up here, but...
Yeah.
Sure.
But we're still going.
Well, we can all make our own choices. I mean,
We're going.
So, all right. So everyone's going? All right.
It's better to travel in packs.
Okay. So you head into you head across, and then you can see, as you walk, she stops, oh yes, this is where we killed the sentry. And you look there into the alley across the street from the Peach Blossom Restaurant. All you see are actually bloody drag marks leading into the darkness. Oh, that wasn't like that.
Heavy drag marks, light drag marks.
Like someone dragging a body away.
How heavy are body? Are they deep?
Like,
are they inch?
Like somebody who they drag away someone
a
who's in
normal
boots.
human body.
An adult male body. Yeah. That's all you can tell. Who would do that? I wonder why the police haven't come yet. Oh. So she walks across the street.
Who's Tom when we need him?
Yeah, exactly. And so you enter the restaurant. I assume you're following right behind her. You enter the restaurant, and you can hear someone. It's a Chinese style restaurant, very lot of tables, but you can see some of them been knocked over. I don't remember everyone being. I think we stuck in through the window. We got our way through the window. We didn't come through the front door. Why are they all gone? There were men here. You look. There are signs of violence. There are blood spatters. There are, yeah.
Wow. It's too early for Jackson Pollock.
Yeah. And that's all you can make sense trouble checks.
It's been one.
One. That'd be a 2.
5.
Okay. So anybody got a 4 above can hear the sounds coming from the kitchen in the back.
Slurping sounds.
Rummaging sounds knocked over. That kind of stuff.
Condition 1.
So she points over to the side. The office is over there. We just go through that side door and we get to the office. She doesn't seem to notice the noise, so she starts making a beeline for that. So the kitchen's ahead of you, and the side office is off to the left. So you could. What are you? Each of you going to do? Sean? Are you going to just follow her? She's not.
Which way is she going again?
She's heading ahead and to the left.
Which is the kitchen?
No, to the side office.
Back.
Side office.
The kitchen is straight ahead.
I'll go to the office since I have library use and
Okay,
stuff.
so you will go with her. All right. What about you, Anne? Just follow her?
Can I keep watch outside the office?
You can. Well, are you keeping watch in the main
I
room?
like you.
All right. All right. Well, so you keep watch.
Somewhere kind of dark.
Okay.
Are you
Somewhere
sure you're not Irish? I like you.
Melissa, what about you?
Can I draw a weapon?
Yeah, you can have your weapons drawn.
Ooh, did we pick up one of the prongas?
The police. You could have the one that the other cultist that Anne captured could have gotten lost in the. So you could have a pronga on you. Yes, if Anne decides to keep. Did you decide to keep the pronga, or did you turn it over to the police?
Has anybody sunk any points in weapons?
I have
Anne does. Anne just got like 5 or 6 or a bunch of points.
I only have 1 left.
I
In
have 3
weapons?
in weapons. I have none in
What have you been
firearms.
using?
I only have 3 in weapons.
Well, you could give the pronga to
But
Melissa.
you didn't have any weapons.
Anything's a weapon. The board wasn't a
I didn't
weapon.
use
Oh.
the board.
Yeah.
Okay. Roops, sorry.
Yeah.
Herp derp.
Anyway,
Is this something I can conceal?
the pronga.
Yes.
It's machete sized. If you had an overcoat, you probably could.
Or my giant bag where I keep my
What?
token.
The giant bags. Well, you'd have to. I would allow it if you emptied all your tools out. Like,
Don't do it.
yeah.
But hey, it's January in New York. Of course you're wearing an overcoat.
A large one.
All right. Yeah. All right. You kept the bloody murder weapon.
This seems like a bad idea.
I think it's a
We
beautiful
washed
idea.
it off in the snow.
Yeah. No, it
That's
fell
all.
in the snow.
I'm
It's
very
fine.
adept at washing things off in the snow.
Yeah. Apparently. So yeah, you can have the pronga if you want. Are you going to hand it over to someone? Did you want the pronga?
Wait, do you know how to use this weapon?
I don't
They're
know.
actually pretty simple to use. Just insert end into enemy. They're pretty
As they
big.
say on Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Stick them with the pointy end.
Exactly.
Who has weapons points?
You have one.
You can always make
I
a
only have
check.
3 though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's better than the rest
Remember,
of
you can
us.
always make checks
okay.
without it. It just means, you know.
So we give it... I say we give it to Melissa.
You know.
Okay.
All right, so you hand it. So what are you
Stand
doing?
there with my
You're
large
just standing
knife.
guard. Okay. So none of you are going to check out the noise in the kitchen?
By yourself.
You can't make a stealth test?
You know, I've got a lot of stealth.
Did you put your
Alright.
vest pack on? I think that
course.
should be
Oh, yeah,
clarified.
yeah. All right, you
Just
put your...
As soon as we were away from the police.
All right, you put it back on.
Yeah, I'll spend 2 stealth.
All right.
And then I'll Aaron. 6.
All right, you get in there, and you see a hunched over... You smell it first, the smells of the sewer and filth. But you see some sort of hunched over figure in rags. You can't make them out too well in the dark, in the gloomy darkness. Dragging bodies towards some sort of hole that's been made in the kitchen. Looks like somebody punched a hole from the sewers into the kitchen.
Like you do.
And is
Falcon
dragging
punch.
bodies in it, clearly human bodies into it. So, Omri shoves open the side door, office door, and makes a loud creak, and then starts moving. She's not even trying to be stealthy. So he stops after a moment and just picks his ears up. That's when you see him.
Vaguely canine.
Vaguely canine in shape. Give me a
Yep.
stability
Yep.
check.
Wait.
Bill
Gotta-
knows the story, and so do I. So just like
It is a monstrous human with ramshackle jaws, oversized, very, very large canine teeth, rubbery skin. It is...
I'm fine.
Yeah, no,
I've
you've
heard
seen
of
worse.
these.
Yeah, you have heard of these. So you have a sense of what he would want with bodies, but a ghoul of some sort. Flesh eater.
Gotta love an occult cleanup crew, right?
Yes, so it is, however, the ghoul is now going to be moving towards, actually going on around the other side of the kitchen, heading towards the side office.
And I only see the one.
You only see one.
And I have a relatively clear view. I don't think there's more.
You don't think there's more?
I'll just cock the pistol.
Okay. It stops. It speaks in a very thick, accented English. If you have languages or history, you could identify it.
Nope.
All right.
Wrong guy.
All right. You kind of like, who? I'm not going to try and do the accent.
It's fine.
It's a very exotic one. But so who is there? You are not
nobody.
police.
No.
So you're taking the Odysseus approach?
Yeah.
What? Yes. Nobody is here. Nobody has stole your sheep.
Yes. What do you want?
Not what you want. So I don't.
You know what I am?
I've heard of a few things.
What do I have come here? I was obligated to come here out to bargain. I am fulfilling my end of bargain now, but you mean no harm to me?
I don't see any reason we should have to have a problem. No.
Why are you here?
We were led here.
Led here? By who?
I don't feel like that's information you need to have.
We're hungry for something.
Why don't we make a bargain? I can give you something for information.
Honestly, like I said, there's no reason for either of us to have to bother with each other. I just heard noises. I figured since we were in here, it's best to know what was going on. Now I know. I've actually already learned something. And
I've learned something too.
Oh, yeah?
Your scent.
Tasty.
That's a fair point.
I will tell and you are not alone. I should go and say hi.
No, you shouldn't.
Yeah.
See,
smells kind of pickled.
Yeah. Anyways, all right. So you three are in the room on the side office while you're negotiating with the ghoul. You two can hear conversation going on in the kitchen. The sounds have stopped, and you can hear DeWitt, Simon, talking to somebody. You can't make out. You can hear you can't actually make out the words. So you two can either sneak up.
She was with me.
I thought she was standing.
She's standing guard in the office.
Okay. Okay, well, you're outside the office then, so you're closer, so you can hear that there's some sort of conversation going on, but you can't hear what. You're in the office, so you can't hear. So, because Aubrey's pretty loud, she's knocking things over. Where is it? Where is it? I know it's in here somewhere. She's muttering. There are other books in here, so you can.
Can I spend a point of reassurance to get her to stop knocking things over?
Yeah, no, you could.
Will it work?
Yeah, I would say it would work.
Thank you. Because it is much easier to search when things are in order.
All right, she stops. Oh, yes, I was frantic. You said I was.
Everything's fine.
I have a lot of anxiety.
Omri.
Yes. I have a lot of anxiety.
That's obvious.
Yeah. I have good reasons.
Yes.
Anxiety.
Yes. What are you expecting to find in this
book?
office?
The metal book.
The metal book?
Yes.
Both volumes of the metal book?
No. I could tell there were 2 volumes. It was someone because there was
a gap on the shelf.
No, because it was supposed to be one book, but somebody had physically separated them not with heat, not with a blade, because they weren't meant to be separated. But there was another part of the book, another section of it. I could tell. I just moved everything around, so I guess we must be careful. So we start stacking things up and looking things around. But I could just tell it was just a cut or a heat. You know how metal looks when you cut it with heat. What is that called?
Welding.
Welding? Yes.
And a settling torch?
Yes, because it's metal. And it's not like any metal I've seen. But I don't know much about it. Do you know much about metals?
That would be a no.
Yeah.
I didn't even see metallurgy on here.
My guess it would go under mechanical.
And the
repair.
oddest thing, it was written in English though, but it was made of metal. Parts of it were in English. Some of them were in another language I didn't recognize. I remember there was a word. It said it was the people of the monolith. It was talking about the people of the monolith. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Exactly. That's it. Yeah. Oh, you found me out. But there's only so much material in here. So anyway, so you're dealing with that. So you're just keeping her calm. So she stops making so much noise. You two, though, you hear the conversation. Simon's talking to somebody outside, and the priest is talking to somebody. Out in the kitchen. Yeah. So, what are you? Are you two going to stay on guard, or are you going to try and sneak up and eavesdrop, or are you going to help go in the office and help Omri and the priest, or you? Actually, both of you do see the window is open. You can look in the alleyway. You do see that there's actually a body in the alley up ahead that looks like a Chinese triad member. Looks like he's quite dead. Looks like he has a knife and a revolver on him, so you could go loot the bodies if you wanted more guns and weapons.
You do like to loot.
Yeah.
We build the SS revolver.
Yes, exactly. So, what do you guys want to do? Or are you just staying guard?
I'm going to stay guard.
Okay, you stand guard.
I'll go loot the body.
All right, so you go out the alley. You grab the knife. You find some money, too. The tongs are well paid. You also find a dose of opium on him.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Not right now.
Another one.
That's not for later for a stability check.
There's actually a dose of opium, and there's also a little bag that says it's just labeled moon dust, which you don't
Really don't do that one.
Yeah. So
Okay.
So you find that. So anyways, Bill. So the ghoul says, "So you don't want to bar. So are you going to spend any interpersonal skills?"
Do interpersonal skills work with non-human entities in this game?
They do if they want to talk to you.
Yeah, which obviously he does. I mean, honestly, who's ever met a ghoul that didn't want to talk?
Well, feral ones, but yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I don't
This
think
one feels
streetwise
underappreciated.
really applies.
What about flattery?
I don't have flattery. I am just going to go intimidation.
Okay.
Bold move.
Yeah. Look, you know how groups work. I snuck in here because I'm the sneaky one. Mm-hmm. That means all the really mean ones are out there. So how about you and I are just ships passing in the night and not in the lover kind of sense. No offense.
This could
not my
turn very
type.
badly.
All right.
You're here doing some business that seems to be of benefit to you.
Very well. He says, well then, he takes one of the bodies away, holds up the arm, and just, with one hand...
BC?
No. He just looks at the hand, he's holding it at the wrist, and then he starts squeezing it, and you hear the bone snap as he starts just making a fully closed fist. And then he just starts chewing on it. And then he says, there's one more body. It's in the alley. Go and get it, and I'll be on my way. So give me a stability check, because he's eating right in front of you.
Pretty gross.
Yeah, no, the ghouls are really, really gross.
Yeah.
Good job, Sean.
I'm really glad I brought the carrots.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and spend
You also,
one
yeah,
up front on that.
He responds to your aggression with
In fact,
other sign of aggression.
Yeah,
so.
I'm going to go ahead and spend 2. I'd really like to make this one.
Yeah.
5.
That will make it. Yeah, so you keep your cool. You do. There is some cold sweat that goes down and starts beating.
Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah.
that guy is really, really strong. He's gorilla strong. You really don't want to mess with him. But yeah, he says, yeah, there's one more body and he'll be on his way. So.
And you're going to stay in here?
Well, I can go get it unless you.
No, I'll help you. I mean,
Okay. She's so nice. Be a deer. I'll just
Yeah.
The better
enjoy.
voice
I'll just take a
for-
break. He starts pulling off fingers.
by all means.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right.
Okay.
So he's
I'm gonna
taking a
leave
break.
the kitchen. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
And I'll go out to the alley.
All right. You see.
I've already cleaned the body off.
Can you help me carry it in?
Sure.
Okay.
I like it this way. You're not even questioning it.
Yeah.
It's like a perfect married couple.
What do you need this corpse for? Reasons.
All right. So, Anna, you going to ask any questions?
I'm not going to have you carry it into the kitchen.
Okay.
Just
There are spouses that help you move couches, and there are spouses that help you move bodies.
That's the kind you want.
So Melissa, and just for the record, neither of you are questioning this at all. He's just dragging the body into the kitchen and
Does she
fine.
really see anything?
Yeah, no, she's standing right
I'm guessing I
there.
can see up.
we're going to be dragging it through the main room.
Yeah.
Who are you talking to?
Huh?
Who are you talking
I will explain later.
You're asking me to trust you?
Yes.
to? Okay.
I feel like we've all been through a lot at this point. Just trust me that you'll want me to. I will definitely explain later. You'll be glad I chose to explain later.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So I'll drag it the last little bit myself.
All right. You do that, and so you hear like that. All right. So eventually, the priest, you hear some loud
anything
noise.
useful.
You actually find the metal book while Henri's looking elsewhere. So you look at it. It is written in English, but there are also strange symbols on it. It's a different language than the one you've been studying. It's a different language than the one in the mirror. No, you do not see that. The symbols are more precise. They are mechanically like etched into thin sheets of metal. It's like paper, but very strong. It's almost like aluminum, but
Aluminium.
aluminium, yes, but very thin, very strong.
Invisible aluminum.
And you can clearly see it's meant to be one book, but it was cut in half into two sections.
Like Crazy Lady already said.
Yes, but she isn't aware of it. She is desperately looking for it. So what are you going to do? But she has her back to you as she's looking at that.
Is there anything else in the room that looks useful other than this book? Maybe
is
volume 2.
The scroll that she has, well, that looks like the only thing. The other stuff seems to be a lot of. Actually, do you have accounting or anything like that?
I have no.
Okay. There's a lot of business records. It seems like he was maintaining a
Hey,
thriving
Sean,
business.
remember to tell me about those later.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
But,
about
yeah,
it.
this-
I
mostly
make a
business
mental
records.
note to tell Simon.
Yeah, there's a lot of business records and things of that nature, but it doesn't look like there are any mythos tomes.
Anything with a Harvard Library seal on it?
No.
Way to look for clues.
No, valid.
Yeah.
It's a valid question. It's gone missing from the library.
I
So.
was not disputing it.
So, what do you want to do? Are you going to hand it over to her?
Oh, I'm not giving her this. I'm holding on to this one.
Okay.
Slip it into your cloaks.
Yeah, that would be a conceal check, I think. Or what was the skill?
Yeah.
Filch, yeah.
What about conceal? Could conceal work?
No, conceal would work, yeah.
Okay, then I'll add 1 conceal. And that'd be a 3.
All right, she notices it. As you put it under your shirt, she's like, oh, you found it! Oh, please, hand it over. I feel... I only saw it for a moment, but I knew, and there was just... I knew something was coming, and I had to get out of here before then. But it's
Good call.
Yeah, but I should get it, and my memory's not what it is, but that has what I need to get a hold of myself. Please. She reaches out for it.
Reassurance that it'll be okay with me holding it for a while.
That will not work. If you have bargain, you could use that to try and make an exchange.
I don't have bargain.
Okay.
Flattery? Credit
That'd be
rating.
weird.
Well, credit rating, you could delay it by saying you clearly you're homeless and you don't have any money. We could set you up for a while. And
Why don't I do that? I'll do that.
okay, spend a point in credit rating. You tell her the obvious that where are you going to go? What are you going to do with this?
Much money.
Yeah.
We do collect.
So she says, "Oh yes, that's right. I guess I do need to worry about those sort of things. The
What are those
treasure I
for?
found.
Retroactive indulgences.
Yeah, I just didn't come here.
Chink.
So she's placated for now, so you can look it over.
Okay. Can I use history or anything?
That'll take
or
time.
Anthropology
You'll have to leave the
or
restaurant.
library use?
Well, it's not. Library use 0 point. This book is not. You cannot even begin to fathom how this book was actually made. You've never seen a book made entirely of metal. So that is, in of itself, pretty weird. So
Wonder of the modern era.
yeah.
I blame Ford.
So, anyways, Bill, you drag the body in.
Yeah, very carefully, trying to not put my back to the
At this
room
point,
or
the
anything.
ghouls shoved all the bodies down the sewer room. I said, thank you.
You're welcome.
You know, you're kind of, we're very useful, me and my friends, to people like you.
And we work real cheap.
Here, I left it. I know I was rude earlier. Here,
Just a little bit. Yeah, really. Do ghouls have cards?
No, there's actually, he gives you he leaves. If you ever want to talk to us,
President of the United States, Rutherford B. Hayes?
No, it's a thin folio. It's a thin book. It's like a pamphlet that looks very old. It says, just go to any graveyard
and
reach out.
Raphagia and you.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's fine.
Just go to any graveyard.
And follow the instructions. And
Beetlejuice.
we're very useful.
I'll keep that in mind. I really will.
Oh, I know you will.
Yeah.
BC and you. Anyways, he goes down the sewers. So, you take the folio, I assume.
Yeah. Well, I don't look at it.
Oh.
By the way, there were some accounting books. No.
Yeah.
All right, so the rest of you gather up.
Sure. I guess I'll go make an accounting.
Okay.
stand.
Yeah, you make a point of accounting. You realize this guy had a lot of dirty businesses, and he had a bank account that was left in a woman's name, a Chinese woman's name. Let's see.
That's really handy.
Yeah, that was one of his accounts. So if you wanted to get a little extra credit rating, you could try and scam a bank out of a bunch of dirty money because no one else is going to come and
You
collect
happen
it.
to have a Chinese woman.
Yeah.
Which is very convenient.
Yeah.
Numerous times that has been convenient.
Weird. So you leave the restaurant. So Omri is with you. You quickly decamp. Where are you going? Are you setting up a new base, or are you going to one of your houses? You have an apartment in Manhattan. You also have a house in upstate New York, a family house.
Well,
Apartment house. It's
an hour outside of New York. So.
I wonder.
Which one's
Have we
easier to
bothered
barricade?
to rent an office?
We did have all our office stuff moved.
Yeah, well, is that in
So-
storage, or one person can make a point of credit rating to establish a new office for your detective?
Okay, I'm the poor priest, so I'll just spend what little money I have left.
Okay, I'll let you.
All right, using church funds to establish a new detective agency.
Trust me, I got
Embezzlement.
clearance from the Pope. It's easier to ask for forgiveness than permission.
Yes.
Trust me.
And that's how the Vatican runs their finances.
Using that reassurance, so making the most of that reassurance go. All right, so you go to the office and you dump everything out. So at this point, you have quite a few leads, and so this part of the campaign is more open-ended. At this point, Omri, are you giving access to Omri, letting Omri have access to the book, the metal book?
That doesn't seem
Supervised
smart.
access?
Supervised access? That's
Yeah,
fine.
Yeah, supervised visits.
Yeah.
All right.
Only every
Are you
other
letting her?
Saturday.
Are you going to have her stay at the office, or are you going to let her set up a different, like an apartment for her or something like that?
How much did we get for our money? Do we have a special padded room in the office?
You have a standard 3-room office or 4-room office. You know.
Bars on the windows?
No, it's up on the 3rd story. So.
What part of town are we in Harlem?
No, not in Harlem. Yeah, somewhere in Manhattan.
Oh, so the church's money goes pretty far away.
Yeah. Well, if you're the one renting the building and you're like, oh, yes, the church needs some new offices. And then, oh, yeah, we'll give you a great rate. And then, detective agent, what? It's fine. Yeah. So, line for the church.
Like you do.
Yeah. So, at this point, this is up to you guys. You guys talk and figure out what you want to do. I've done my 2 opening scenes. One in the book and the other not at all in the book,
Cobbled together from another book.
Yeah.
It's compelling. I like it.
So so what you know is you have numerous primary leads. One,
Bloody tongue.
the Bloody Tongue cult. You could try and look into that.
Metal book.
The metal book.
We've got. Well, that's pretty much the same lead.
And do you have library use?
No.
Okay.
I do.
I've got a point as well.
But she's the one who knows Sylvie, and Sylvie knows Erica Carlyle. So, do you have any academic skills? If you're a woman of action.
Really academic. I have like evidence collection.
Cryptography.
I don't know.
You do know through cryptography that Erica Carlyle
has 2 other languages.
Very large library with a lot of books in it, and her brother was certainly interested in the occult. Sylvie and Erica have talked about that. You've all had tea together at one point or the other.
Okay. Here's what I've got written down, just to recap. We've got Anthony Cowles, the PhD of Esoterica from Miskatonic U.
Yep.
Yes.
Who recently gave a lecture in town.
Yep.
And Elias was carrying
Yep.
something from that, so that might be worth following up on. Edward Gavigan at the Penhew Foundation. Was there any explanation as to what that was?
It is in London. Penny was in London.
Okay,
We don't
but
know what the foundation.
that is point blank all we know before we start researching it.
Which is-
Yeah, Elias had it.
And he's the director.
Wait, what's the
Yeah.
address?
Tottenham?
Tottenham Court.
What?
Familiar.
What else is? That does sound familiar.
Well, that's where a lot
Anyway.
of lawyers are at this point in time.
Okay.
But I don't know if that's a...
Yeah, it sounds familiar from some other fiction. That's what I'm getting at. But
Yeah.
okay,
London.
Cockney accent.
yeah,
I
For
could wire
us-
Patrick.
yeah. Well,
He could look into the Penny Foundation and telegraph.
Yep.
I will.
I have connections
let's-
everywhere.
Let's just recap. So
Yeah.
we've got I've got Faraz Najir, who's a curio dealer in Cairo. Elias had a letter to Carlyle from him, so eventually we'll want to get around to that.
Harvard Library.
The Harvard Library. We have the Emerson Imports business card here in town, which had the name Silas Revane. Silas
in Quan. In apostrophe KWANE.
Quad.
Silas in KW.
We might wanna let,
KWANE.
Melissa's character take care of that one.
Emerson Imports is in New York. You could telephone them or call them.
Right,
Or
we could
visit them. Yes.
find out what they are first.
Yeah.
And Harvard Library. So
Yes, those are obvious information. There's also the Carlyle Expedition itself.
in general,
which Erica Carlyle knew her brother.
And we do know that there are Kikuyu in New York now.
Yeah.
And the Kikuyu are tangentially related to the Carlyle.
Yes, through the news clippings. They certainly
Even though they blamed it on the
end in-
Nandi.
What?
The Nandi tribesmen.
I don't remember the exact wording of the clippings.
They blame it on the Nandi tribesmen, but the Kikuyu are mentioned as having assisted in recovering the Nandi tribesmen in order to put them up for trial.
so it's a false flag.
But Erica Carlyle, the officials say that she's misremembering that and saying that it was policemen that collected them, not the Kikuyu.
There's also one other lead that isn't mentioned in the handouts, but you do know that Elias's Jackson's publisher and editor was Jonah Kensington, who is in New York for Prospero House, a publisher of books having occult or fantastic themes, fiction and nonfiction alike. They're on Lexington Avenue near 35th Street. So you could interview Jonah because he knew Jackson.
Out of character, is the Tempest reference meaningful at all?
It's just a name. I mean, for a publisher of the occult and supernatural books. So
It's a pretty natural choice, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that is another one. Those are the ones that are immediately obvious to you.
My publishing house was dukedom enough. That's the motto.
So, I will say, actually, you could, I will say for free that the Cowles lecture, he will be giving the lecture again on the 17th, so you can go
So by this point, that's like 36 hours away.
Yes, it is morning of the 16th now. You've had a long night. You can get some sleep, crash on the couch, go to your apartments. All of you have some residential.
Surely, if there are that many rooms in the office, we have cots.
You do have cots. You could all barricade yourself.
I can sleep sitting up.
Go to the
My
mattress
eyes
open. All right.
Sometimes mass is long.
So all of you can sleep through the morning. Restore half of your physical
Thanks be to
pools.
God.
You're sleeping on cots interrupting your skating, so you're not getting all your physical back.
So
What
are those?
Half of your physical abilities.
Half?
Of anything.
Half the total or half what we spent?
Half of the total.
Oh.
Well, if it...
Yeah, so you spend less than half on an ability to get it all back.
Round up, round down.
Round down. Also heal 1 point of health if you haven't healed anything else. So your bruise goes away, Bill.
Yeah.
My stitches are removed.
Hey, Father, could we talk for a bit?
Yeah, we can talk. Do I get psychoanalysis back?
Psychoanalysis. 80.
Sorry, Monsignor. I keep forgetting.
It's okay. You're not Catholic. I forgive you, sort of.
Well, then go fire up the kettle.
Okay.
I could go with another as well.
I will say, actually, here are the rules that will actually from now on we'll do this. Anytime you get a chance to rest, create a temporary haven for themselves, free from danger. You may refresh up to 3 general abilities except for health, sanity, and stability. They lose all refresh points if their supposed place of safety is penetrated or reveals itself as a place of hazard. You only get 1 opportunity per session to do this. And additionally, pools for physical abilities, athletics, driving firearms, fleeing, piloting, riding, scuffling weapons, fully refresh whenever 24 hours of game world time elapses since the last expenditure. The remaining general ability refresh at the end of each case, like investigative abilities.
Woof.
So this will count. So you can refresh 3. You can do what you've already done, or refresh 3 abilities up to full.
Well, but if I get half back on psychoanalysis,
no, we'll do. You choose one or the other. From now on, we'll do this. You get 3 abilities once per session, so you can choose, including psychoanalysis. So you have psychoanalysis.
Well, what was the thing that you were doing where it
I
was
I misremembered the 24
Okay, because I already did all of that,
well,
so I'm very confused.
All right.
So what?
I'm sorry. All right. So next time we'll do the 3 thing. This time we'll.
We're just.
I'll just leave psychoanalysis at 9 for now.
All right, that's fine.
As compromise.
Yeah.
Because I used 3 other abilities.
Yeah.
And recharged them, so I'll just.
Sorry, I should have refreshed that. So.
And the interpersonal abilities don't recharge.
No, nothing investigative, nothing in interpersonal.
And you need some.
I would really like to talk. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to make the roll.
Yeah. Are you spending any before?
How bad off are you?
I'm on 5.
I will spend 1 on the roll.
Okay. 3 or better. You get it. Good job. So how many are you going to spend to refresh them?
How many were you originally at?
Give me. I could take up to 3, but I can deal with just 2.
I'll give you 2.
Okay. Well, I mean 3 of your points.
I know. I'll give you 2 of my points.
You get 4 stability.
Yeah.
So you're up at 9.
I'm good with that.
All right. So good.
That's good.
How you doing, Ann? All right.
You okay?
Yeah.
You're at 9.
I saw Jackson's body and I didn't even blink.
Because you are just that cold.
Yeah.
Ain't no thing.
I don't think. And Margot is a woman of action.
So cold badass.
She doesn't. Yeah. You need a cultist gunned down, in the streets of New York.
Who you gonna call?
Margot.
So you also have some leads that I've given you. That are not in the book. There's the side thing of stealing money from a dead gangster, because Mr. Lau was missing and probably not on this world anymore.
Not gonna miss it.
But probably the bank will realize that their dirty money is no longer has an owner soon. So if you don't act soon, they will.
And we do conveniently have a Chinese woman in the group,
Yes.
so we might as well take advantage of that. And I did spend the church's money, and they do eventually want it back.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter for me, obviously.
How much of a...
So what that will do is if you get the money, it'll fully refresh someone's credit rating, plus add 1 point of credit rating to any one character.
Cool.
So it doesn't matter how high the credit rating is on someone.
No.
So who has the highest credit rating and is losing, has lost the most points?
How does that work? At least my credit rating counts double for my...
That's only when during character generation. So your credit rating spends like everyone else now.
Does anybody else have missing credit rating?
You're the only one who spends stuff for the office.
Okay, so I guess mine's the only one that refreshed.
Yeah, so one person can gain a point of credit rating.
I thought it was fully refreshed.
Well, fully refresh and increase your pool rating.
So,
sweet.
do we have to do anything to do that?
Yes, they will be a scene.
Okay.
Okay.
So let's hold that thought.
Let's hold that thought.
Things could go pear-shaped.
Yes, because you. Here's what you'll need to do. First, you'll need to get a forged ID with your name on that, which will require criminal contacts or spending or whatever. 2, you will need to disguise yourself to look like the person in question, which means, like for you, Melissa, you'll have to look like the. Basically, what you figure is that this is obviously a dummy account set up like that, so you're going to have to look like you're connected with the gangster somehow, and you know all about the gangster, but they're respectable from. Yeah.
Yeah, we're good.
And the other thing is, then you'll have to convince the banker that you want all this money out of the bank. So you don't know how well the banker is in on this scheme, so you don't know what he's going to know, what kind of questions he's going to ask. So. But once he gets suspicious, he will probably kick you out and not give you money. So that's the thing, is you don't. It's kind of a gamble. You can just go in there with a fake ID and hope for the best. But if he asks you a code word, or if he asks you about Mr. Lau, then you might be up a creek. So you would this is up on you. You could spend streetwise to ask around about Mr. Lau. You could figure out who the banker is and then read his diary if he has one, or interrogate his wife.
Yeah, let's add a B&E to it.
Yeah.
What about flattery? Could she use flattery?
She could bribe the guy and just offer to split it, in which case you would get the refresh, and then you would just get a pool of points. You wouldn't you wouldn't get as much money.
You wouldn't get a permanent credit rating.
You wouldn't get a permanent credit rating.
I've got 3 in Streetwise, and I mean, it's a chance to kind of play up criminal connection anyway.
Yeah, so 1 point of Streetwise will get you a standard fake ID.
Well, and I was also going to put feelers out on Mr. Lau. And
that would be another spin. So you need at least 1 for this fake ID, you know.
So you've only got the 1. Is anybody else carrying much Streetwise?
I have 1 left.
Okay. I'll go ahead and spend 2 to learn things about people.
All right, it'll take him a day to get a fake ID.
Yeah.
You'll have to go down to the place and get your photo taken, you know, so they can make a nice fake ID for you with the name.
Smile for Birdie.
Yeah. And all right, so you put out word asking about Mr. Lau. Word has already gotten out that he's disappeared, and there's a lot about him. So. There are a lot. No one's worried about him getting angry, or no one gives a shit. So you can ask freely about him, but with 1 point, you'll get some information, but you have to tell me what you want to get. So you can think about that.
Yeah,
that'll take some time. And we can do this next session too. Like this subplot doesn't have to be resolved now. Since,
oh no. It looks a lot more terminal than all the rest of this.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but
this could feasibly be wrapped up before.
This could be feasibly wrapped up. So yeah, if you want to focus on that, get that nice little bonus.
Do we know what the name of the bank is?
With the accounting, you find out it's I'm going to be the trustee bank on
trustee with 2 E's or trustee
yes, 2
with
E's,
a Y?
2 E's. It's also on 35th Street. The banker in charge, his name would be...
Please be Owen.
Tom Sullivan.
Close.
Sullivan?
Yeah.
Could be.
Can I see if he's Catholic?
Yeah, sure.
You didn't call it first.
Well, it's the lower half is not.
Okay,
so he's not.
Yeah.
That's the way we established it before.
He is Catholic, but he is a lapsed Catholic.
Of course he is.
And he's a banker, so obviously he's immune to Catholic guilt.
So I can't use the whole argument with the camel and the eye of the needle and all that.
Sorry.
Not going to work.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Actually, you know what? If it's like that, then I would really rather use my streetwise in his direction.
For Sullivan?
Yeah.
Okay. Sullivan is known to be a friendly banker. He is especially known to be a friendly banker for the disadvantaged gangster, those who do not have the, racism and nationalism being a thing back in these days. Sullivan reaches out to those who are not of the right ethnicity or cultural background to get their
she's Chinese and I'm Jewish.
Yeah.
So
he would be fine with that. So
And I'm Irish.
yeah, but you might rankle on the whole lapsed Catholic thing.
That's true.
so that's how we got Mr. Lau's business.
What are you?
I would assume she's
Wasp.
Wasp if she's a dilettante from New York.
Unless she's from Long Island.
I mean, you could be. I mean, there are certainly wealthy Jewish families. You could be Jewish. Up to you. But anyway, so that's the 0 points been. For 1 point, you can either get his home address or some other personal information about him. I mean, what do you want to get from him? I don't.
Right. I don't know. What can we... Ooh. Anything... anything, yeah, personal life-ish? Does he have any known mistresses?
Yes, he does.
Okay.
Of course he does. He's a lapsed Catholic.
Well,
There's a lot of good Catholics who have mistresses, too.
Yeah, but I know about those because
Yeah.
they're in the confessional booth.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So, yeah, essentially... what's the situation there? Does his wife know or not know?
Probably doesn't know.
Okay.
She still takes her kids to church.
Okay.
So.
Okay. There we go.
Yeah.
So she's a devout Catholic.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least putting on appearances.
Highs and lows. She's a devout Catholic.
All right.
I was just saying, there's our leverage. I mean...
Did we get a name of his mistress?
Yes. Stacy Peterson.
What?
She is.
Stacy with a Y, Stacy with an IE.
Why? Yeah.
I know what you just did, Ross. I know what you just did. Did you say with a Y?
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
You're a horrible monster.
I am. So, you had that. You have two ways you could work it. Probably, if you work the wife angle of it, that's one way. But if you work we'll tell you, like...
That one's more terminal. We should not start with
Because
that.
hell hath no fury.
Right.
So you could spend the day to shadow him and see if he, one, sees her at work or while on his lunch hour, or two, sees her when he gets off work.
Mm-hmm.
So that'd be shadowing tests. One of you could do one or the other. So
I have 8 points in shadowing and stuff. So
okay.
Are you okay?
I'll go ahead and make a 2-point spend.
Okay.
4.
That's fine. He's not that observant. He doesn't think that someone's
Right, he's not expecting it.
Yeah, weird. All right.
Classic misdirection.
Let's see here. He does go to see her on his lunch hour.
Okay.
So he goes up to her apartment
Quickie.
nearby. Yeah, and has
Lunch.
she waves at him from her second-story window of her little brownstone as he's leaving.
I have a point in photography.
Yeah. All right, that's your point. You don't have to do that.
All right. It's not actually that complicated.
It's not that hard.
Okay.
So you get a photo of them. It's pretty easy.
Snap
All right.
a Polaroid.
You take a few hours to develop it. So what's your play?
Okay, so that's our holdout.
Right.
If
I
he
think
gives us
that
friction.
we can just try the straightforward angle and see how it goes.
Do we know which parish she goes to? If not, affiliated with it?
Same one, St. Patrick's Cathedral, boom, that one. So.
Okay, yeah.
So, you probably haven't given that many sermons because you're kind of focused more on research, but you've probably given one or two there, so it's in a couple months, so sometime in November or something like that.
And normally people like mine better because for some reason the communion wine is better every week when I do the homily.
Yeah, it's more potent. They actually wobble on their way out.
They get closer to God.
Yeah.
And each other.
And you're really into the whole, like, the damnation, the evils of the fire and brimstone type stuff. It's really passionate coming from you. Because you've seen the fire and brimstone, or the blood-sucking
and I've launched flaming things at it.
Yeah. So, are you just going to disguise yourself, walk into the bank? And, all right, give me a disguise check.
What are you doing?
Okay, I will spend 4 on disguise.
Wow.
Company, I
All
guess.
right.
I have 8. That's good. I have 5.
All right, with 5, yeah. No one tries to push you out of the bank. You look perfectly respectable. You look like the kind of front person for an illegal, money laundering operation.
You should probably ask ourselves
you look like the
that.
kind of person that's a front for an evil one.
Yeah. Well, they're like your Chinese. You're walking in and you're going to talk with a
Looks
high
perfectly
bank.
legitimate.
Yeah, perfectly legitimate. But that's exactly how you are. So.
So I'm figuring the play should probably be that you're coming in because since he probably knows by now that Lau is dead, you're fronting for whoever's Lau's second is.
Right.
And
Who
so-
is retreating back to Shanghai, and we're liquidating our assets and taking them with us.
Nice.
And if that
So-
fails, you have the photos in your purse.
Right. So I slide my ID across. I give him that story, and I say,
We'll roll by it. So you
Okay.
put your evidence. What's the fake name, by the way?
Go for it.
Huichi.
Huichi.
That was my favorite maid growing up.
Mrs. Huichi. What kind of business would it do? I did not realize. I've always dealt with you through phone calls on mail. It's been very pleasant to see you. Very nice to see you today.
Tom Sullivan.
Well, Mr. Tom.
Nice.
Very nice touch.
I'm sure that you've heard that Mr. Lau is not with us any longer. You have heard this, yes?
Oh, no. Did
Yes.
he go? Oh, my.
Yes, it was brutal and terrible.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
And I'm sure that Mr. Lau told you about his second in command, yes?
I'm sure you
yes.
didn't tell him about that.
He did.
He trusted you so dearly, I would assume that he did.
Sure, yes. What does the second in command want?
Well, we are moving the operation back to Shanghai.
I see.
And as a result of that, we must take everything with us.
Everything. That is a substantial amount of money. That will take some time to move the funds around.
No problem. We have some time.
What bank? Do you have the routing number of the bank you want to transfer it to?
Yes.
No
I have
routing
a piece of
numbers
paper.
yet.
Okay, fine. The account numbers. Do you have the information to what bank
Still
am I
have an
transferring?
information system
Yeah.
to
Sure.
use that with.
My account, Bank of Shanghai.
So you are transferring it to a bank?
Don't transfer it to your account.
You could ask for money up front. You could just ask for cash.
No, we need cash.
Oh.
All cash.
Especially considering right now transfers are not a good idea.
Yeah.
1920s, bad idea.
Really? Interesting.
It doesn't really exist. So, yeah.
Well, I assume there's some way to move money from one bank to another.
There's a way to move it,
Yeah.
but there is nothing there.
It's just a physical credit note.
It's less than that. It's basically a napkin kind of a thing.
Right.
So you don't want to do that.
You have to think this is before all
this
the
is a
Dracula.
substantial amount of money. It will take some time to arrange this.
Naturally.
Perhaps a week. I will have to go and verify some things.
That's way too long.
Yeah, and if you could just tell me where you were staying at, and I could forward
No,
you any
Mr.
information.
Tom, I think that maybe you don't understand. We are leaving.
Well, I mean, this is a bank. It's not. We deal with
This is
regulation.
the part where he tries to explain fractional reserve banking.
Okay, so I can give you till...
Well, actually, do you have assess honesty?
Yes.
Well, he is being less than forthright. I will give that to you as a 0-point clue. You can spend 1 if you want, or you can hold on to that. But yeah, he's being less than honest.
I'll spend 1.
All right, he is trying to clearly 1. He is trying to buy time, and 2, trying to find out where you live. You get a sense that maybe he wants to use that information for less than honorable purposes, as he is connected to many gangsters who would be happy to.
Competitive gangsters.
Yes. So, what are you going to... So he's saying, yes, it will take some time, and he starts giving you bureaucratic double talk. If you just tell me where you are so we can sort this out.
I will wait right here. In the lobby is fine.
Oh, this will take days. I'm sorry.
No. You don't understand. Huh? We're leaving tomorrow. I must have it by end of business today.
I can't promise that.
Mr. Lau Second was very explicit.
Maybe I can get it. Well, he never cleared this with me. This is the first time.
Mr. Lau is dead.
Yes,
you understand.
Yes, he didn't exactly... Did he leave a will behind?
Do you think he left a will behind?
Yes, exactly. This, I can get you a portion of the money right now in cash.
Not good enough.
For 10% of what was owed, I can get it to you right now with no questions asked.
You can give me 90% right now.
90. No, I'm sorry. 90 is just. I'm sorry. It's an outrageous. You don't really. You're the one who has to leave.
Good misunderstanding.
You're the one who has to leave. Suddenly, I technically don't have to give you anything. We can with the death of
what?
Yeah.
The account's in her name.
No, Mr. Thomas.
It is in her name.
Than that, you know who you're dealing with.
Yes. I mean, to be honest, there have been some irregularities with this count that I should raise with the bureau. I mean, there's just I have the bank.
Wait, it's 25. There's no such.
The bureau, not federal bureau.
Yes,
just
we are
bureau
very familiar with the irregularities that happen.
There
in
is. There's
bank.
a bureau.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They're just not looking at banks.
Well, so you spend 1 point in it. That's honestly, he's trying to scare you away.
Right.
He is bluffing you outrageously.
Maybe you should scare him.
Not flinching.
Do you still have the prong guy?
Yeah, no one will note that. Yeah. Shank.
He's not a teller. He'd be in the back office.
He would be in the back office, yes. So
we're sitting in an office.
Yes.
It's not like we're,
As long as you don't make noise, no one was looking over at you. Yeah. So he's hemming and hawing. You'll have to make a spin or try something else.
Don't forget you have the photos.
Yeah. Okay. So, I'm not going to spend anything.
Okay.
Well, I have intimidation.
Well, intimidation and the photo alone would guarantee it.
Okay. So, I will spend.
All right. You take the photo out. What do you say?
I say, okay, Mr. Tom, I feel that you are not understanding me, so maybe this will help you understand me more clearly. I'll slide the photo across and say, Stacy is a very pretty girl. Yeah.
Do you have the negatives? Do you have the negatives? With preparedness, I would say you can have the negatives on you if you want.
I would never have sent her into the building with the negatives.
Give me the negative. I can't. You can't hold this over my head. Give me the negatives, and I'll give you all the money.
Just an aside.
It'll take me a few. Yeah.
Ross's characters are very difficult to negotiate.
Yeah.
They're reasonable people in a dirty, dirty world.
Mr. Tom, of course we have the negatives.
Yes,
but
I need the negatives. Okay, well, it will take me a few hours to get all the money together. I'll have it in a suitcase, and meet me at the Waldorf Astoria, the Waldorf lobby, and we'll trade it there.
Dead drops.
Bad idea.
Yeah.
No, I am okay with.
I need I can't get you. Give me the negatives.
I will bring the negatives here to you in your office.
Well, it will take. Well, I don't want to do that.
No. That's not a dead drop.
No. I don't know that we want a dead drop.
We want to do
He could
a dead
cheat
drop.
us. Trust me, he could cheat us.
I want to see the money before I give him the negatives.
Fair.
I will come back in 3 hours. I will bring one associate and the negatives. And you will have the money, yes?
I actually cannot get it to you until after business because I have to be alone in order to get all of it. I can get you half the money in 3 hours.
Okay, then. I will bring 3 associates.
It does not change. I'm not supposed to take that much cash out.
I will come after hours with 3 associates and the negatives.
And you will have half the money if you wait, unless you wait until after business.
Yes, I will come after business.
Okay, but we can't do it in front of the bank. We have to meet somewhere else.
How about the back of the bank? You let me in.
I would prefer someplace far from the bank. A hotel lobby, the Waldorf. There's a lot of business there. Or there's a Chelsea. I heard there was a staff shooting there last night. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of. There's not going to be.
How close is the bank to the church?
It's within walking distance.
What about the lobby of her apartment?
She has a brownstone.
Yeah, for one.
And if you have any ideas, you could say you guys could have arranged this ahead of time, so you can all pitch in for this. So where do you want to meet the bad guy? Or, I mean, not the bad guy, the bad guy.
Yeah, he's not a bad guy.
Well, he's cheating on his wife. He's not a good guy, let's be honest. And he's working, he launders money for gangsters.
Well, okay, yeah. But, I guess my standard for bad guy is actively working against us.
Yeah. Stabbing people to death. That's kind of high standard. Or low standard. I don't know how you put that.
Yeah.
So, he's telling you, he doesn't. He will refuse, with what you said in the sign, he will refuse to meet you at the bank with all this money. Because people around the bank might recognize him. Handing off a big suitcase, to other people. And then.
Well, and we don't want to do it in a public.
Does his wife go to daily mass every day?
Well,
no.
What? On the other hand, doing it
weekly.
in a public place means
Sunday
you
with
can't, pull a hit nearly as easily.
She's devout, but she's got a busy social life too.
So what's a public place that allows?
You could do it at a restaurant. You could do it at a hotel lobby.
Oh yeah, a hotel lobby's not horrible.
You can set up the Waldorf. It could be a low-class hotel,
like the Chelsea.
The Chelsea was actually pretty nice up until the whole, the shootings. There's actually a list of hotels in here.
You could tell him you'll bring still one or two, and then he doesn't know that one of us maybe can pretend to be a hotel guest. The
thing about it being in a public place is you don't have to tell him any number of people that are going to be there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's sort of the...
We can all be there if it's a public place, but not...
The Roosevelt.
That's the trade-off, is how many people is he going to have there,
right.
If any. I mean...
He may not want to bring people in, because then I'll have to explain
right.
the blackmail.
Or you go to a cheaper establishment in the Bowery or Harlem.
Not Harlem. We're staying away from Harlem for now.
Okay.
I highly recommend staying away from Harlem right now.
Okay. Anyway, let's... I mean... I don't know, is the choice of hotel is really, the kicker.
So, middle-class hotel.
I'd say middle class, so they don't recognize me.
Okay. Let's see here.
In as much as that's a thing in the 20s.
The Plaza Hotel?
Sure.
Okay, so we're going to the Plaza.
All right.
After business hours. I will meet you there.
After banking business hours,
yes.
So 8 o'clock. Yeah. 5 o'clock. 6 o'clock. He will be there with the money.
What we really ought to do is have someone other than you be the handoff.
He's only going to recognize Melissa's character.
Right.
Right. Well, just in a player character sense, we ought to have someone who's not a PC do the handoff, someone expendable.
But she's terrifying and can take anybody down.
True.
You could just let Omri be the one. Surely did the story.
No,
that would not end well.
Yeah.
I feel like no.
Considering we bribed her with credit ratings to let go of the book.
Also, we've met an older version of her, so if we let her get killed, bad
We
things.
screw up her timeline.
Yeah, which pretty much means make a stability check difficulty all.
I don't know. Time's not really linear. It's more wibbly wobbly.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's just do this a straightforward way. I'll have the negatives.
Okay.
They won't be on me, but they'll be nearby.
Do we have to have them be the actual negatives?
Well, you can have more than one.
You will look at them.
Yeah, I feel like he's going to be...
Can we make negatives of the negatives?
I don't think that's a...
You don't need photography to spend, do you?
Yeah, I do.
If you want to make a spend, you could make a copy.
A spare set of negatives.
Yeah.
Yep. It's always good to have a contingency plan.
All right.
You make spare copies of negatives.
With photography.
I mean, it's been a while since I actually did study film photography years and years ago. So I think there is a way to do it, or you could just take a photo of a photo and do that. So it'd be a slightly degraded copy. So you could rush that and get that done.
It's not like I even have to fully develop them.
Yeah. So you can have backups, but he doesn't have to know that. So you're just being paranoid. All right.
It's what
I'll
we
wait
do.
in the lobby.
Weird. All right. So you wait in the lobby. What about you guys?
We'll also be waiting in the lobby looking inconspicuous.
All right.
I probably shouldn't be there just in case on the off chance that he went to Mass over Christmas.
He might recognize you, yeah.
But he's not going to recognize that you're my associate. I'm just saying.
But he may be embarrassed in the blackmail thing, so he's wanting to do this in the bank.
That's good.
All right. Anne and Bill, give me shadowing checks.
Sure. I'll spend 2.
And give me some trouble checks.
So I got 5.
Do I do a sense trouble?
You can do a sense trouble.
I'll spend 2.
I get an 8 on sense trouble.
Okay.
I get a 5 on shadowing.
5 on shadowing. Okay. Did both of you get at least a 4 on shadowing?
Yes.
All right. So both of you are inconspicuous.
Like the night.
You're just fake talking to each other at a table.
What? No, we're not fake talking to each other.
Let's get dangerous.
All right. So those of you who make a 5 or better and sense trouble, see that there are 3 guys in other tables around the hotel lobby who keep looking at Mr. Sullivan's position and are clearly watching him. And he is looking over at them occasionally, trying not to look at them. So, and with an 8, you can see one of them has a very large, pretty shape under his coat.
Pranga.
Yes. No, it's not pranga size, but it is handgun size.
Pranga in your coat, or are you just
Anyways,
to see me?
so Melissa, you did you get there earlier? Or are you going to wait? Is he waiting for you, or are you waiting for him?
I'm waiting for him.
All right, so he walks in.
Like he was walking onto
the other 3 guys. They're actually you don't pick up on those of you who don't pick up the other guys are watching him until like the 3rd guy comes in but you realize though that they came in early as
3 times as enemy action.
One guy was already there even when you got there early, but the other 2 come in at different times and so he has 3 guys watching him. And they're watching you, but you made your shadowing check, so they don't notice you 2. And he says, "So where is it?" So, Sullivan sits down. He says, "Where is it?"
I have it. It is here. I see the money.
He sets it on the seat next to you and just kind of gradually opens it a little bit, and you can see it full of cash, quite real. So
are they silver notes?
It's money units. It's full
goes all the way down to the bottom.
Yeah,
it's not like layered and.
You pick through it a little bit. He's very like, oh god. She's very embarrassed by it. You don't do that at a exchange, but he does it anyway. It looks quite rare.
Tell me he does the Richard Gere thing from Pretty Woman.
Yeah. No, he's a little too paranoid for that.
Damn.
Yeah, and so
would have been great.
It would have been. But he's kind of a jerk. So he goes, the negative.
Especially at this point.
The suitcase doesn't leave my hands until I see those.
Okay. So I am going to stand up and pick up the suitcase.
Well, he will not let go of it until he sees the frame.
Okay. And
so his hands are still on
I'm going to say to him, the negatives are under your seat.
Okay. He holds with one hand and he gets it up.
Envelope?
Yeah. Puts it on the table, opens the envelope with one hand because he will not let go of the suitcase. Until he does that.
Also put your hand on the suitcase.
We're both holding.
Then he holds it up. Like, if I ever see you, never come around again.
I never intend to.
All right.
I'll be in Shanghai.
All right, he leaves. He gets up and walks out. A few other people do that. So
a few other people.
A few other people notice since you're standing up holding a suitcase and he's looking at negatives. A few people look over that do seem to be just innocent bystanders. Like, oh, that's weird, but. You walk out. All right, you have the suitcase now. And you just walked out. So what are you going to do?
I'm going to go to the ladies' room and meet Anne in there.
Okay, so and you two are in the ladies' room.
I'm not going to walk out by myself.
Bill, you notice one of the 3 men who was watching Sullivan now walks out, leans against a pillar near the women's restroom, reading the newspaper nonchalantly.
Is he the one
with the pistol? Actually,
Yes.
now you can see he has a pistol. Well, no, you didn't see it at first, but no. Oh, yeah, he definitely got a pistol too. So.
Hell, why not?
So two of them are still in a restaurant. One of them's at the pillar, so watching the restroom. So, and so you two are in the restroom. There's an old woman there who's powdering her nose and just going on and on about the terrible waitstaff to no one in particular. Like, oh, they're just so rude. Oh, they wouldn't even crack open my oysters. I couldn't believe it. It was just quite. Just the degeneracy of this age. We should. Anyway, she's on and on and on.
So I'm going to go in the stall with the suitcase
Yeah.
and stuff the money in my dress. Just the suitcase.
Okay. If you make a preparedness check, I could say you could have that your dress rigged to have a pouch or something like that.
Okay, I will spend 2.
Is that a female Rob Liefeld
3?
character dress pouch?
Dress pouch, yes. What'd you get?
3.
All right, you rig something, but it's kind of not so good. It's haphazard.
You're gonna look like Lady Cluck.
If you run or you get tackled,
Like
it's probably going to fall apart.
Okay.
The money's going to just spill out all around you.
Got it.
So you need to be walking.
Gently walking.
Can we split the monies?
You could split the money, so you could have a hidden.
Oh, dang it.
In
My
fact,
pouch
you
rigged.
could-
You're going to have to take some of this.
You could give it all to her, and you could leave the restroom at different times. And even if you do get accosted,
Good point. Okay, so
So you both go in the same stall to do this, I assume. The old woman's like, oh, well, I never.
flappers,
Yeah, exactly.
decadence.
Yes. Oh, cocaine fiends. She just assumes. All right. So give me a preparedness check.
That's legit.
I'll do a 3. 6.
All right. No, you've got. Yeah, it's a total like.
Where did she stick all that stuff?
Yeah. Padding.
And it's cold out, so I have a coat on.
Yeah.
Hammer
You have
space.
lining on your coat, so you pad your coat with $. So.
Okay, so
Empty suitcase, or so Anne can take all of it, and you can run with it. But if you get tackled or take any damage, the money will take
so
damage.
no heroics.
Yeah. Unless you want to split it. Do you want to split it, or do you want Anne to carry all of it? Because she could run
no,
with
I'm
it.
going to have her take all of it.
Okay, so you sell the suitcase though.
I'm going to take the suitcase.
Actually,
Okay.
it makes more sense to have her take it, yeah. Because
Okay.
they don't know about her.
Exactly.
They know about you.
I- now
Well,
the
but
diversion.
they'll see the suitcase.
I'm taking the suitcase.
Right. Okay.
Because
Sorry,
she stuffed
I got
it
turned
into
around.
nooks and crannies.
Yeah,
that
hammer
you
space.
want to
Yeah.
know. So-
I would say it's a lining of your coat. I would say like you actually look a little
It's a
like
very expensive coat.
yeah.
So we're going to make a plan.
Yeah.
I think we just did.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, where am I going to go? Am I just going to wander around the lobby for a while?
There actually is a barred window. It's a ground story, so there is actually a tiny window that's barred. That if you could remove it, the bars, you could climb out of
And
it.
head towards the church.
Yeah. So I was thinking, I've got.
And you could use your preparedness thing to say you've already removed the bars, or like undone the screws like an hour ahead of time.
I can do that. Do you want to
Okay.
escape through
All right,
that?
are you
We
gonna
can
spend
try
any
it.
equipment?
Or at least get you out.
Yeah. Spend another 2 for that.
All right.
So
8.
Yeah, no, you just.
Runs them with her.
She
hand.
leaves the bars there, so they look like they're in place, but you just push them over, all the screws are out, so it was just held in there. So you push it out, so you can climb out.
I'm going to boost her up first.
Okay. Yeah, you don't need to take a check. All right. So the guy's clearly getting suspicious. When the old lady comes out, he goes over. He's like, "Hey," he's making small talk with her and pointing at the restroom. You can't make it out from here, but what are you gonna do?
Okay. So I have 2 ideas. One of them is more the pure intimidation route. The other is more of a distraction route.
Which sounds more entertaining.
Yeah.
That one first.
Okay.
You could always fall back on her.
Let's see. Do I need to spin preparedness for a flask?
Yes.
Can you just pick up somebody's drink?
The restaurant does not have alcohol. Remember,
Oh, wow.
it is a legal hotel. You're not.
What
in a
about just
speakeasy.
picking up a paper bag?
It would be a low preparedness check, but you would have to make one.
All right, I'll go ahead and spend a point just to play it to the hilt.
Sure. 3 is
That's
enough.
only okay. I'm just going to splash a little on myself real
Yeah.
quick and tuck it away. And then I'm going to go over, stumbling a little bit to where he is, slap him on the shoulder and be like, I can't remember the last name. Main character from Groundhog Day. Phil...
Bill Murray's character?
Yeah.
Oh, man. I can't remember. I know it was Phil, but
Anyway.
you could just say Bill Murray.
Yeah, no. Phil Johnson? Ned! Needle-nosed Ned! Ned the Head! Ned Ryerson! I'm gonna do the whole thing.
So you go up to him and say, look, could you just assume my fiance is in there? He's like, then you rush into him. And the old woman just, bye.
And I'm gonna start trying to sell him life insurance.
All right, do you making any personal spends?
Is there anything I could do with reassurance on that? Like that's
With one reassurance, you could make your No, I really am
legitimate
drunk.
enough. Yeah. Okay.
A coincidence.
Reassurance for values of reassurance equal to bald-faced lying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'll spend that.
No, you're quite convincing as a total drunk.
Okay.
And yet the Hail Mary shot doesn't work.
So the old woman goes in the bathroom.
Wait, she
and-
comes
Back in the bathroom?
Yes, she comes in the back room. Oh, and she sees. Let's see, who climbed out first?
And it.
And did. All right. So she sees you, and she says, "Oh, where was the younger woman? I didn't see her leave. Did she? Oh my, the bars are out. I should tell the valet immediately that I told this."
She already went to tell. That's it. She left just now.
But I was right in front of the restroom. I must have missed her. Oh, I'm sorry. I should tell her that her fiance is waiting for her. Oh, young women these days, they don't know what's good for them. They're just running around and being with these flappers. And she turns around and starts going out. So, anyways,
Engage her in conversation.
Do you still have that opium?
For some reason, I don't think that would work.
Does this smell like chloroform to you?
it's true, Cthulhu. Chloroform is definitely not something you want to use without medicine.
Is there a board lying around?
Okay, so I'm going to ask her. Excuse me. Before you go, my dress, the zipper is broken. Can you help, please? I'm so immodest. I cannot leave the bathroom. I'm stuck here. Someone needs to help me. You can help me. Yes.
Do you have flattery?
So much flattery.
All right, you spend a point of flattery, and you could you're just so dependent. Oh, you just need the help of a matron like her, just a stately woman. All right.
Yeah. You will not let me leave looking like this. I know
white
you will not.
woman.
Yeah. So she's the kind of person. Oh, I know her. And she says,
Oh boy.
Yes. So you distract her for a little bit longer, and you get. But so you distract her. So Anne, are you running to the church?
Wait, I assumed that I was going to help Melissa get out. But
Don't worry about it.
Are you hear her
Go.
talking? Melissa looks back at you. I assume get the fuck.
Okay, then I'll go to the church. I'm not going to run so fast that the money falls out. But I will
You
walk
can
this
run
way.
as fast as you want. It's just if you take damage or you get knocked down or something like that.
Don't
Which-
run. Drop
don't-
attention.
No,
Don't
I don't
run.
want to run. I
Okay.
just want to walk briskly with purpose.
Like a New
taking
Yorker.
My secret.
Okay, so
back.
you're walking. You're walking.
I'm walking in.
All right, so Sean, I assume you're back at the church waiting to receive
Hell
it.
yes.
All right,
A little surprised you weren't posted outside, but
or are you outside the church or outside the hotel?
I'm outside the church door, which has viewing range of the bank, of the hotel,
All right.
and the bank.
really,
It's beautiful.
that was convenient.
Yeah. No, actually, it would be one or the other. It would actually be you could have it near the hotel, but not the bank.
Well,
He specifically wanted to be away from the bank to make the deal.
it's a big cathedral, but the front door looks at the hotel.
Yeah. All right. So you give me
Convenient
sense
for
trouble
out-of-town
check.
parishioners.
What?
Give me sense trouble check.
I will spend 2.
Okay.
That'll be an 8.
All right. You see Anne in the distance, walking with visibly because of the coat is now lined with dollars. So you see that. So you got an eye on her. Eventually, though, your charade ends. Eventually, she has to go. And eventually, the woman tells him, and just shoves you away, and finds out. And then he goes over, makes a nod over to the lobby. So the two guys just immediately run out of the lobby outside. You So the old woman went out, and she says, "Oh, come on! Oh, actually, that's the first thing, Melissa. How are you? You're going to send the old woman out, but you're going to stay in the bathroom, even though you've been zipped up and you're now presentable."
No, I'm following her out.
Oh, you're following her out. Okay.
Somehow.
All right.
Before she leaves.
So in case the two guys don't run out, so you walk out. The guy immediately sees you with a suitcase and just says, "Look, I've got business to attend to. Like, I'm sorry. Yeah.
But life insurance.
Anyways, he just turns.
Double indemnity.
Yeah. So he turns and just makes a beeline towards you.
I'm grabbing him when he reaches out to.
He shrugs you off, so you'll have to actually use scuffling to.
Okay, I'll do it.
All right.
Yeah, I'll spend 2.
All right.
4.
All right, that grabs him, and so you grab him by the shoulder.
I'm going to continue babbling about. Yeah.
All right. In that case, you can see the other two guys are walking around you, walking towards you. He's just narrows his eyes like, "Let go of me, or you're going to regret it, Buster."
What's she done in the meanwhile?
What are you doing?
I am walking to the front desk.
Okay, you're walking to the front
hotel.
desk. You see a man coming to intercept you. He will reach you. He's going to be right in your way. He's walking very fast, almost running, and will intercept you before you get to the desk, unless you zig and zag and start running like a linebacker.
Is there a bellboy anywhere nearby?
Yeah, there's a bellboy over there in the corner smoking. Everyone smokes.
Okay, I'm calling him to me.
You just stop in the middle of the corridor. And
Boy!
He looks over. The man just starts walking towards you, and he goes over to the bellboy, "Buzz off!" And the bellboy looks very confused, does not want to mess with the very scary-looking guy in the business suit. And he says, "Look, sister, just walk out the hotel. Nobody has to get hurt." Just whispers that to you. And he has his hand on his coat pocket. So, yeah. In his coat pocket. There's another guy coming up behind you. So,
make him a scopsy.
So, I'm going to hit him in the head with a suitcase.
What?
All right, make a weapons check.
I'll spend 3.
Okay.
What?
The strangeness.
I have 6.
All right, D6 minus 2.
2.
All right, you hit him in the head. It's a well-made suitcase, so it does not fly open. So you knock him to the ground. The other guy, he's stunned. The other guy behind you is going to make a scuffling test to try and grab you. And he does not spend any, so he misses with the 2. So he's just screw. So Bill, the other guy, is distracted by this, but he is reaching inside his pocket for something.
I'm going to reach inside my pocket for something.
Okay. What are you grabbing? The pistol?
Yes.
All right.
And then I'm going to shove it up underneath his ribs. And
All right. You can make an intimidate. Well, you have intimidate, right?
yes.
All right. At one point, you can tell him to freeze, and he will not do anything. So you can neutralize those two.
Done.
So new round, and you're still walking up the street. You're walking busy.
Walking up the street.
Yeah.
With purpose.
Sean is. You're watching her walk up the street. Let's see here. Melissa, you knocked him down. He's getting back up. The other guy is going to try and grab you again. What are you going to do?
I'm standing in a hotel full of people, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's people looking around you that are wide-eyed. Everyone is confused by what's going on.
So I'm going to shriek and yell, "Thief! He tried to steal my bag! Thief!"
Okay.
And keep hitting him with this again.
Yes. Thief.
All right. Yeah. Are you going to use the suitcase again?
Sure.
All right. You make a weapon check.
I don't have any more weapons, but 5.
Oh, well.
Roll damage again.
1.
To 1 point.
All right, with 1 point, you hit him again. The guy behind you who was trying to you strike him. Unfortunately, the suitcase cannot withstand this kind of beating. It flies open, revealing nothing and nothing.
Not just nothing.
Yeah,
But nothing.
Nothing.
the 3 men all see that and say, "They switched it! Get outside!" They rush out the lobby, so they're all running out of the outside. So
Even the one that I've got a gun.
oh yeah, the other one is freezing. He's just he looks at you. He's like, "What are you going to do?" It's your song.
You and I.
People do see you holding the gun on him.
Because she did call attention.
Yeah.
To the other part of the room?
You're not that far away from her. You're like maybe 10, 20 feet.
Rescuing the damsel in distress.
Yeah.
You're a hero.
Exactly. I'm going to shout, they're working together, all three of them. I got one.
All right, with that, you ain't going to shoot a man in the back, are you? And he turns around and starts running out the window.
I still had a hold on him.
Oh, you were physically grabbing onto him?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, why
Probably
give
let him go
quarter?
at this point. Because what's going to happen? The cops are going to come, and then we say what? Sorry, we were making a deal.
No,
Well, what are they going to say?
Right.
Yeah.
That's a two-way street.
Well, if you're holding on to him, so you're yelling, you're spending this round yelling at the other people.
Sure.
All right. In that case, you don't see him as he slips a knife in your ribs. He had more than one gun. So he's spending
Can I make
3
a
points.
theology spin to pray that this goes okay?
He spends 3 points on weapons
You're not
to shiv
omniscient.
you.
You don't know.
And he does.
You take 5 points of damage, -1 because you
Have a shield.
So
Oh no, it's a small knife. It's -2, so 3 points of damage.
I thought that was rolling to do.
Oh,
the
sorry,
thing.
that was to hit. Yeah, let me roll damage. Sorry, 2 points of damage. Yeah.
Okay.
But you let go of your hold. As oh my god!
Right.
And he turns to run.
Yeah,
That was -1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
Well
communicative.
spoken.
All right. Well, yeah. I'm just gonna.
Anyway,
run
two
away
of
and
them.
flee.
Yeah, two. All right, so the three of them flee. Bellboy and the security guard rush up and like get your statement and like are trying to like help you up and whatever.
They attacked me.
Obfuscating foreigner.
And you're almost there, 2/3 there, but 3 men come running out. That are clearly like wide-eyed.
They're wearing a hat, right?
How are they going to know who to
I
look
was going
for?
back ways though.
They might recognize you were in the lobby ahead of time, so they might recognize you as being in the lobby.
But they'd see her from the back instead of the front.
From far away.
They are far away, so you have to make a shadowing check to basically walk by them.
Oh, it's cool.
Yeah,
Wait, walk by them.
I mean walk away from them. Sorry.
I don't think
So they're running up the
This is
street.
New
That's
York.
From the church. Right?
You were walking. You weren't running.
I was
So-
walking briskly.
It was a long way, and it didn't take very long. So you were walking briskly. So you have to make a shadowing or a stealth check, and you will avoid all 3.
Okay, I'll spend 2 stealth. So 7.
Because basically they are randomly accosting people and just like pulling them over. It's like, no, she wasn't in the hotel. No, she wasn't either. He wasn't in there. They're yelling to
And
each
there
other.
is 3 of them. They're gonna get through the crowd fairly quickly.
Yeah. So, how about her? I thought I recognized, so they're basically being very fast. But
Ignoring
with
the
a
fact
6,
that it's dark out.
it's 6 o'clock. There are street lamps.
Okay.
Yeah. So they,
What?
with a 6, you
Collateral,
easily
Sean.
avoid them and get to the church. And so they do not go into the church, and you mingle with the evening mass crowd or whoever's coming in and out of the church.
Just yell sanctuary. It'll be fine.
yeah. So with that in mind, you all get the money. So
That was fun.
yeah.
I have 3 credit rating now.
So you refresh your credit rating, and then
plus
one person can get +1 to their credit rating. Who is the money going to? Is it going to him? So his credit rating is 3, or somebody else?
The
wants?
church likes to collect interest.
All right, so you get a credit rating of 3 now.
As long as it's
Cool with
not
that.
called usury, we're fine.
Yeah.
All right. So your expenses for New York are covered now. So
And how?
and how? So good job. So we will. That's a good place to end it.
That probably is.
Right at 10:30.
Yeah.
Perfect, Ross. Well done.
So for
I
next
love
time,
this is since the sleight of hand, man, and
Yeah.
we're completely.
Yeah.
No, it's masks, and we're doing all your B plots.
oh yeah,
It's
no.
pretty great.
I'm
love
liking. So next time, what are you most interested in investigating? You have multiple leads right now. So what do you want to? You can.
I need to go to a library.
All right, so you can do some library stuff. The main thing is the imports. I will say you will find out that one of the person. I will give you one bit of information. You call up the import house, and you find out that they only have one customer in New York.
Jackson Elias.
No, a store called Juju House in Harlem.
It's in Harlem.
Yeah, and it's called Juju House. They cover in stuff from Africa, African goods, arts, and herbal medicines and other things. So you, another major lead is Erica Carlyle. You need to get access to her, interview her. So what do you can do both, I guess. But in a larger speaking, you have leads now to multiple places: Shanghai, Cairo, Kenya, and London.
I can take care of London.
And to be honest, there will be one. There are leads that go to Australia. Well, I don't think you uncovered those yet, but that's
well,
not
we know
a big
that Anthony
spoilers.
Cowles is from Australia.
yes, you do know that.
Ding.
So
How did I miss that?
Well,
it's on the handout.
The Polynesia
he's from the
Southwest
University
Pacific.
of Sydney, but
Yeah.
he's presently a fellow
At Miskatonic,
Yeah. So
I saw that.
He's at University of Sydney.
Well, you find at the Carlyle Expedition there are ties to Australia before you. So there are two major things in New York, which is Erica Carlyle and then the Juju House. You do not have to go to both. You could do one or the other, or you could skip both and just get on a boat.
That doesn't hold together.
I can contact London and Harvard while I'm doing research.
London just contacting from New York will get you very little. You'll get some information, but you will eventually, if you want to investigate the Penn Foundation, you will have to go to London.
Even if I contact a very
he can do some
spunky Irish reporter.
Well, he's not going to do. He will do some legwork for you.
He's not a PC,
but he will not get the entire story. So if you want the entire story, you'll have to go to London. So after New York concludes, well, I guess New York isn't done, so you don't have all the information yet. So what are you guys more interested in pursuing immediately?
Well, this is evening of the 16th, so we're less than 24 hours from, or right at 24 hours. Call it. To Dr. Cowles' lecture.
Yeah.
Let's see. We found out the thing about the imports for free.
Yeah. So, you just called them. You found out who the customer was. Juju House.
So I think
we'll do the rest of the call in the next session. So I'll have some more information.
So yeah, we should definitely go with Harvard, find out what book that was
before we are on the other side of the ocean.
Before we move anything, we should go to the lecture. We should go to Jonah Kensington. We should go to Prospero. I feel like those two leads. What was the name of the
professor that they were trying to talk to? The cops.
That
Lemming?
was
Lemming.
Yeah. He's a folklorist. He has not. The lieutenant said he did not have much. Dr. Mordecai Lemming. He has not had much information for them yet. But that's who they're connected to. That's who they've.
But they haven't got a shiny book made of metal.
Nope. I'll have more information about that next session.
Book made of metal.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm thinking since we have about 24 hours, we should probably not go after the Juju House just yet because that might be a little bit more protracted than that. So let's go see Kensington, and let's work on getting in touch with Harvard.
Okay.
In addition to any occult or library use kind of stuff as regards the Cult of the Bloody Tongue.
Yeah, I'll have more information next time.
And maybe work on getting in touch with Erica Carlyle.
Okay.
So yeah, just New York stuff.
Yeah, New York stuff. So no ideas about what chapter you want to go to next because you still in the midst.
Really
of...
in this one.
All right. So question, comments, suggestions. You guys have fun.
Yeah.
All right. With that in mind, we'll see you guys next time.
Yeah.